What is going on, guys? Welcome to the Just Saying podcast. I am here with always the man of the hour. We're always talking that Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, what Dragon Ball Super, Herostone Media. How's it going, man?
Ooh, it's going good. How about you, man?
Oh, it's going really good. I mean, we've been, we're catching up on those that Dragon Ball Super, man.
Catching up on it? Yeah. In between work, of course, just hey, personal life should never get in the way of anime, but occasionally it does. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, most
Oh yeah.
definitely,
Oh
most
yeah.
definitely. Dragon Ball Super, man. We did a podcast before
Long
talking
time ago.
about a while back ago, talking about Dragon Ball Super
Oh
and
yeah.
how the animation was not so good.
And the story was also pretty dang repetitive to what we've seen before.
Yeah,
Nothing
there was
new.
nothing really new about anything. If you've seen, Resurrection of F and
Battle of
Battle of the
Gods.
Gods,
Oh
yeah,
yeah. It's all
but
done before.
it's all been done before. But man, we're finally in the we're in a tournament. We're in a tournament. We get new material. We
Yeah.
see new fighters. Universe versus universe, like
Yeah. And
Barris versus Champa.
mm,
So a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff
well,
going on here. But before we get into that, I want to know, how do you feel right now? So from what we talked last time, how do you feel right now about Dragon Ball Super and this tournament arc and just overall the evolution of Goku and Vegeta?
well, now that I've seen the new material, I binged watched almost all of the tournament. I quit watching right when they about to fight, so I binged watched it all in one go. And I gotta say, I am optimistic in towards where they're taking it. I think we're not quite there yet. I think as far as just in terms of story goes and pacing, but I think this is a great lead into what could be a really interesting arc depending on where they take it. I don't think Super is going to end right now. It won't end after the tournament. It's pretty obvious that it won't. So
Mm-hmm.
I wonder, where can they take this? We're in new material here. This is interesting stuff. I think new concepts are being explored, new universes, new dimensions, super Dragon Balls. There's so much here is going on. It's just, I don't know where it's going to go, but I'm optimistic that maybe we might get something pretty cool by the end of it. You
Oh
know?
yeah, most definitely. And then like I've been hearing, I don't know if you heard any possible spoilers of maybe the upcoming events. Have you heard any like spoilers that are coming? That we haven't got to yet
I
because the
tried to.
manga is going. The manga is definitely going, and a lot of people have
Yes.
been enjoying the manga.
I don't read the manga because I don't want spoilers. In fact, I made the mistake of going down to the comment section on the latest episode until I got that kind of spoiled for me.
Yeah.
I wish I hadn't though. Well, I couldn't be helped. But either way, no, I don't look at spoilers though. I hear rumors of like something like I think they were debunked, of course, like something like a white-haired Super Saiyan form or something like that, or the future of a certain character being highlighted, whatever that means.
Well,
Be
it's
it
on. It's in the title. Like
true.
I haven't looked into it, but there is a possibility that maybe future Trunks might come into the series.
Indeed. Or future Gohan, maybe. Who knows? Probably, maybe, well, he is dead after all.
He's
So probably.
dead. Yeah,
Never mind.
but
Yeah.
I think
Maybe
everybody
Trunks.
wants that future Trunks from Dragon Ball Z.
That'd be cool, I think. What do you think? Would that be like jumping the shark too much, though? His story's kind of over.
No, no, because I think all these years, we've all been wondering what has he been up to? How because
Hmm.
even though he defeated the androids, like what new threat has come his way? Because there's always a threat,
True.
and in his universe, is that the case? Is there another baddie that came in here and he's just not strong enough to defeat him? Now he has to, meet up
That's a
with
good
Goku and
point.
Vegeta again. Like, and then at this point, he should be older, right? He should be older. Does he have
Oh, yeah.
kids? Is he trying to resurrect the Saiyans? Like,
Ah,
what happened? What has happened after all that time?
I think you're
I'm not.
right.
It's interesting. It's very interesting. I mean, I'm a little worried because we know the production value of Dragon Ball Super and the animation, and that's what
Oh,
takes me
yeah.
out of it every single time I watch an episode. Is the animation? The animation
Oh,
is so bad that
yes.
I'm just like, it's hard for me to enjoy an
It's,
episode.
here's the thing, too. It's like recently I finally finished One Punch Man, great
Woo!
show. But that animation was so stellar that
Oh,
when I went back to Super, I
oh,
was like, what is this? How is it that Dragon Ball, the quintessential action anime, looks like garbage compared to One Punch Man, which came out of nowhere last year?
oh my God!
What is this?
Hero, like you're absolutely right. I mean, I saw an anime called Erased, and it had better animation in it than Dragon Ball Super, and it was just a mystery thriller. I've been watching Boku no Hero Academia that has stellar, fantastic animation, and Dragon Ball Super does not. So I just don't understand the fact that you don't give money to the biggest franchise of all time, anime wise, and it looks like this. It looks so poor, and
It
it just
does.
frustrates me.
it makes no sense even from a business standpoint. You know, you should make a good quality product. People will invest in that and they want to see more. But if it looks like garbage, people are going to not care about it as much. You know, people
Yeah,
want a good looking anime. It's not that much to ask for.
yeah, and that's what the if you don't have good animation, your anime is gonna fail. It's
Yes.
going to fail. I'm not saying Dragon Ball Super has failed miserably because there is some good things I think we're going to get into
Mm.
about this tournament and just overall new characters and this and that.
Oh yeah.
But anime, you're watching anime for the animation. You're
Hmm.
watching it for the animation, and if your animation is just not even above subpar, you failed. You failed
Yes.
on that, and that's bad. That's very bad because anime is all about animation. Yes, you got story characters, but you're watching an anime. If that wasn't the case, then you'd be going to watch movies, live action movie,
Or read the manga.
or a manga. Yeah, I mean the manga panels are so much better
They
than the
are,
shit that
and
we're getting.
they're not even drawn by Toriyama himself. You know, they're not even
Oh,
Toriyama, but they're still great. You know.
oh my, yeah, it's just absolutely, it's crazy, man. It's crazy that the fact that Dragon Ball Super throughout, it's not going to
Yes.
change, Cole. It's not going to change.
Well,
We're still
well,
going to have bad animation until maybe the end of this
yeah.
run, and then they pick up more episodes if
Well,
it's been succeeding.
well. I mean, I think you're right though. It's not perfect, but this I'm gonna say this past episode, as far as and the art style goes, it still had moments where it was a bit sketchy, but as far as animation goes, and not only that, choreography. 39 for the first time ever has some Dragon Ball Z style choreography. It actually looked
Oh,
like Z, and you're not gonna believe that, I know, but it felt like I was watching Z again. Like when he broke out the Kaioken and all that, it felt like Z for the
oh,
first time ever. It wasn't just face punches; it was actually like some decent choreography. So I'm kind of hopeful, maybe,
I
maybe.
love you bring that up with the choreography. And that was the other complaint I had about the series is the choreography is bad. I mean,
Yes.
even in the tournament, it's still pretty bad, especially with the Vegeta fights. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it's just not, I mean, somewhat of it is entertaining, I'll give it that. But it's still not up to the level. It's just bad. It's just bad. The choreography is just not
It's not
who
just
is
bad;
thinking this
it's
up?
non-existent.
No, yeah, exactly, exactly. I mean, it's crazy how you can go back to Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z and they have better choreography than Dragon Ball Super. That should not be happening. It should not be
Exactly.
happening. But I haven't seen the recent episode. Can you give us any light? I did see some gifs. I did see some pictures that I don't know. They were saying like a white Super Saiyan, but I don't think this is necessarily white. I'm hearing I saw in the title it said like Kaioken times 10. Like what was the deal with today's episode or
Well,
yesterday's episode between
well,
Goku versus Hit?
but what it was that see, the thing is, that interesting thing is that Hit is actually adapting to Goku's fighting style, and now he's adapted his time leap to now zero point 0.2 seconds, and he's going to go to zero point 0.5. He says, so he's getting better. He's learning for the first time. He never had to before, but now he's learning. So to counteract that, Goku broke out the Kaioken, which he was worried that would destroy his body, but apparently in Super Saiyan Blue, it can handle it now. He went to times
Oh,
10. He's still running out of ki, so he has to hurry and beat Hit right away, but he's able to make it work. And what it is that I was kind of hoping it would look purple, but what it is that it's the blue aura of the Super Saiyan Blue, which is a red larger aura around it, and it looks pretty dang cool. I gotta admit, like a red tint on Goku's body, like it looks cool. I'll give him that much. Now, of course, I think Hit will adapt to that because they can't end the fight right now. And we saw in the spoilers for the next episode preview, we see Goku going down. Hit found a way to break it. So, and this is kind of worrying because like Kaioken times 10 Super Saiyan Blue. My God, we must be in the trillions in the power levels now.
oh my god.
What can break this? Super Saiyan Blue 3? Super Saiyan 4? A fusion? What is this?
It's gonna be interesting like later on through the series, like what other transformations is there? You know,
Yeah,
and then I think that's why everybody was going on the bandwagon where like, oh, it's gonna be Super Saiyan White. I don't know if it's gonna be Super Saiyan White, but it makes sense that people would lead to that because like the color of it and when he went Kaioken, because there was a little hint of white in there.
ah,
Um, but I don't know. I'm still waiting. I was still kind of waiting for Vegeta's Super Saiyan 3, but we never got that.
yeah. I mean, and not only that, but I kind of feel bad for Vegeta now because like, oh, he's been surpassed again. It's like for once they were kind of equals, and now it's on. Oh, no, never mind. You know?
Oh, Vegeta got his ass whooped.
He
against
did
Hit.
get his ass whooped.
And I was disappointing. Like I was kind of hoping for a little bit longer fight. But it kind of showcases like Hit's. I like Hit. I like Hit as a character.
I do.
Um, there's nothing like too crazy about him. There's no in-depth character analysis on him. It's just maybe because I like the look. I like his demeanor. I think he's a cool little character right there. I would like to know
Indeed.
more, but he's a cool little character.
And you know, I think it is his demeanor is just business basically. It's not personal. You know, he's not wrapped up in emotions like say Frieza was. It's kind of just business. You know.
He's an
So
assassin, most definitely.
he doesn't exactly. So and I kind of like that actually. You know, it's something more unique we haven't seen. I think actually it reminds me a lot of the Saiyans back in the Saiyan saga. Because think about it, there was no malice against say Nappa and Piccolo. It was just business,
Yeah,
it was just
yeah.
kind of like, this is what we do, we kill you, is what we do. And actually, speaking of that, I kind of feel like the last few episodes have been kind of a throwback to, I would say, kind of the greatest hits of Z. Because think about it, we got the Gallic Gun, the Final Flash, now the Kaioken. All these classic moves are just coming back, and it's awesome.
I was totally surprised with the Gallic Gun with Vegeta. I was like, "Whoa, what the hell's going on here?" It wasn't
it's a throwback.
drawn very
It's awesome.
well, but it was still kind of cool to see that
Indeed.
definitely. Um,
You notice also that the Final Flash, when he does that, it's almost mirroring when he did it against Cell. Like, even the same angles, it's almost a recreation, and I like that respect they paid to that scene. It's a good scene for Vegeta, so it's kind of cool to see it relived a little bit.
yeah,
So
and it
yeah,
was really cool to see Vegeta actually turn to Super Saiyan Blue when
oh
he
yeah,
fought Kana. Uh, that was probably one of the most disappointing things about this tournament was the fight between him and Kana, right? Kana?
Kaba,
Kaba. I'm sorry.
Kaba,
I said Kana.
yeah,
Kaba.
yeah,
Yeah. The fight between him and Kaba, I was looking forward to it because these are two Saiyans, right? And then you got the Prince of all Saiyans versus this Saiyan. We don't know he's given us backstory of his
yeah,
universe and where he is at. He said that he doesn't know what the hell that Super Saiyan form is, but
exactly,
I was kind of hoping for a better fight. It was kind of cool that Vegeta was the teacher. He was the sensei for once,
yeah.
but I still was hoping for definitely a longer kind of fight, but that's not what we got.
Well,
The problem with Kaba though is the design. I don't like the design. I don't like the design, Colt.
yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. When I first saw Kaba, I thought he was a girl,
That's what I thought. Everybody was saying this is our first
which
Super
would be
Saiyan
cool.
girl.
That'd be
And
cool.
that's what I was expecting until I heard his voice. I'm like, that is no girl.
Exactly. You
Dressed
know,
like a girl, but that's no girl.
And you know what it was too? It's like I agree with you that it was cool to see Vegeta get the mentor role. That was really neat to see him in, but it felt to me like Kappa's went Super Saiyan too early. It's like it didn't mean anything. It's like it feels like now if you just believe hard enough and you're angry enough, anyone can be a Super Saiyan. But it's like, are you telling me that Kappa never once got angry in his whole life? Like it came too easy, you know?
Yeah, I was
It,
very disappointed on the like you just nailed it on the head. Like you went too fast. It was like that Super Saiyan was just too rushed.
Indeed.
Him
Like
turning.
imagine instead, like at the end of the fight, he has the glimpse of like almost going Super Saiyan. Like that would be better. It's
Like
like you
Gohan.
get like yeah, like
Yeah,
Gohan in the time chamber. You get the idea. Oh, he's going on the right path. He's gonna get it eventually. He's
yeah,
not, but it's like now he just has full control in 5 minutes. It came too soon, and it doesn't mean anything. And we didn't get the chance to learn anything about his character in the process.
yeah,
I mean, it's like if all it takes to be a Super Saiyan is angry, Vegeta would have gone Super Saiyan way back in the Saiyan saga. It's like, come on, and
yeah.
it's more than anger. It's a drive. It's some kind of ferocity. It's almost, I would say, giving oneself to one's anger.
Yeah, and then that definitely brings in the fact like a while back ago when where a lot of people always talk about this is like it looks like anybody could be a Super Saiyan because look at Goten and Trunks, like they're kids and
Yeah,
they just turned Super Saiyan like nothing. It took Vegeta like how long?
exactly.
And this is supposed to the Super Saiyan. I think people you got to realize Super Saiyan when Goku first did it, this was a myth. This was a legend. This wasn't even they didn't even think this was true. This could ever
Exactly.
happen, and it happened. And apparently now anybody could be Super Saiyan. It has to be harder than that. And it would have been cool if only a few could turn to Super Saiyan and go surpass. But it just seems like now anybody can do it.
And you know what else too? It's like, here's the thing. When I saw screenshots of episode, I think 35, when Vegeta fights Kappa, I could have swore that what he was doing was Vegeta was giving Kappa some of his energy to make him into a Super Saiyan to give him a better fight. I thought that's what he was doing. I guess he was just teaching him. But I think that would have been cooler though. Like if he showed him how to go to Super Saiyan, and then it's like, okay, now we can fight. Now it's
Yeah,
even. You
yeah.
know,
I mean,
cool.
that could have worked too because they needed to transfer energy to Goku when he wanted to go God mode. They needed Saiyans to do that,
Mm.
so they could have that kind of. That would have been interesting. That would have been very
It could
interesting.
have worked. Yeah, yeah. Um, somewhat off topic, but what do you think of the character of Frost and that reveal? Has true origins. Like, did you see it coming, or were you surprised a little bit?
Are we talking about different universe Frieza?
Yeah, Frost.
Yeah, they call him. I call him different universe. I mean, I thought, but isn't he like Frieza though? Because Vegeta and Piccolo just were pretty much saying that that's Frieza. I never heard
Basic.
once really Frost.
I think it was basically Frieza, but yeah, his name was Frost. But I think everyone called him is just Frieza of this universe, which kind of confuses me because not does that mean that every character has a Universe 6 counterpart? Because that's confused. That's going to get confusing quickly, you know.
I'm assuming. Yeah. I mean, um,
Well, of course, no Earthlings because the Earth is get destroyed. But Saiyans, probably not Saiyans too, but some aliens, I imagine, maybe. We'll see.
well, no, Saiyans in the other universe definitely because when before I get to Frost, when Kaba hinted at like Vegeta wanted to see his homeworld and Kaba hinted that like there's somebody just like you, Vegeta that has
Ah,
that same. I was thinking King Vegeta, maybe a possible
that-
Bardock. I mean,
oh,
that would be
I,
pretty
I
awesome.
would, I would love for Vegeta to see his alternate universe father. That'd be awesome.
I would love for Goku to meet
That
Bardock.
that
That's
would
would have been
that
my dreams to come true.
that would be pretty interesting just to see. But it's like I can't imagine it would mean a whole lot for Goku's character, but he just might kind of go, "Oh, hey, how's it going?" It's like it's something,
Well,
something.
there's an actual Dragon Ball Z game. I forgot what game it was, and it's
Heroes?
actually Bardock goes back and he ends up. There's a scenario like a what if or whatever, and he meets Goku, but he like gets transferred over to a certain place or whatever. He gets transferred like I don't know. He disappears. Goku's right there. Goku's like, oh, who are you? This and that, and then Bardock realizes like that's my son, but Goku doesn't know that's his dad. And then
Oh,
I believe, as Goku or Bardock. I think you play as Bardock, and you guys fight. And then afterwards, like Goku is just like kind of happy with the fight and everything. And then he's like, "Oh, I gotta go, and thank you, my son." Like it was a pretty cool little cutscene
I bet it was.
for a game. So it
Wow,
definitely, it's really there's something there. There's definitely something there if they pull it together.
I
But I
think
would
so.
like animation, please. Give me some
Oh,
good animation for at
yeah.
least a good touching moment.
Indeed, but
Um,
I think that when it comes to Vegeta going to the Saiyan homeworld of Universe 6, I think it's likely that like they can't just give us that and not show us anything. They have to have that happen. They just have to. Come on. Throw us the bone. Let the Prince of all Saiyans return home one last time.
Well, I've
You
been
know?
saying that they should include the Saiyans once again, the Saiyan race. I think that would bring something crazy to the story. I know we had the Saiyan arc with Vegeta and Nappa, but like if you have a whole Saiyan world and Goku and Vegeta, like what do they do? What does Vegeta do when he's introduced to a world full of Saiyans? And like how does that work for
Oh,
Bulma and Trunks and everything? Because
and
this is the Prince of all Saiyans, and he never had the chance to rule or lead
indeed.
a
And not only
Saiyan
that,
race.
but of course, I think as in a way Vegeta has surpassed the rest of the Saiyans. The Saiyans were kind of just brutes in a way. They were not, if I recall correctly, they were not. Most of them were not terribly bright. They were just kind of muscle. He has transcended that and become a wise leader figure. In essence, I would love to see maybe Vegeta be tempted to take that role of leader, but
Yeah.
maybe that would kind of collapse, and and then it's like, oh, and then we have to defeat them now, almost turning against that. Like have the arc be complete in a way, you know?
Yeah, I would love for Vegeta to be like a leader because that gives him an edge over Goku in some aspect. Goku's not a
Indeed.
leader. He's not a
No.
leader. He's just a man who's just who saves the world constantly, but
Yes.
he never
He's
leads anything. On
right. I mean,
You could say the
he's not
Z
even
fighters. You could say the Z fighters, but with Vegeta, like he's so smart and he has that credibility. Like I could see him really becoming a great leader, a great general.
Indeed. Here's what I think is that Goku is by and large, he can strategize, but he can do it
Mhm.
only on the fly, really. Vegeta is a tactician,
Yes,
you know?
yes.
He can make a plan. Nobody else can really do that. Maybe Piccolo can do that, but Vegeta is expert at doing that and arranging this kind of stuff and making it work, you know?
Yeah, and then
So
in the tournament, I've noticed like Vegeta has become way mature, and it's real. I really like that. I really like how they have Vegeta much more mature than Dragon Ball Z. Because in Dragon Ball Z, he was kind of whiny. He was always pissed that
especially the Boo saga,
the Buu saga. He got a little bit more mature. He finally realized, like,
a little bit.
yeah, a little bit, but
It came full circle almost,
most
kind of.
definitely, yeah. But I feel like Super. He's become he's like he's the dad. He's like a dad.
He
He's a
is.
dad. He lives on Earth. He wants to
Yeah.
surpass Goku still, but it's just not. It's not his number. It probably is the number one priority, but it's just not. He's calm about it now. He's not.
Yeah.
He's not
He's
raging about it.
he's found an inner peace in a way almost, or at least it seems like that, and that'd be kind of cool actually, because like I always thought it'd be kind of interesting if a Saiyan's power came not from anger and pride, but from finding a peace. Because that's the thing. I always thought that when I was first watching Z, and I heard the myth of the Super Saiyan and all that, and the legend, I
Mhm.
thought it'd be okay. The one thing a Saiyan can't achieve is some kind of Zen, some kind of inner peace. And if someone were to unlock that, that's the Super Saiyan. That's when the
Yeah,
power is tapped. Well, the exact opposite is what we got. But to find a more pure-hearted Saiyan, that could work. Because of course, I think the English dub made that kind of a thing with a pure-hearted Saiyan becoming a Super Saiyan, but I think in the
yeah,
original dub it was just anger and all that. I'm not sure.
mhm.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
It's an interesting like how much it goes one way and then it goes the other.
Hmm.
Especially like you said, a pure heart Saiyan, and then you have Vegeta, who's not pure hearted. He has a heart. He's not pure hearted.
Oh no.
He definitely triggered it by anger, and I
Oh
think
yeah.
that was kind of cool though, because like we all thought too, like, oh, they even said like, Vegeta, how the hell did you turn to Super Saiyan? Like you're the most evilest guy there. He's like, oh, because I'm a
My
genius.
heart is pure
Yeah,
evil.
anger. Yeah,
It says, or in the Team 4-star version, pure, unadulterated badass, which is also
exactly.
true. Gotta
Yeah,
love that.
because
But I
Vegeta's
mean,
a badass.
always. But question: what do you think so far has been your favorite fight of this tournament arc?
Um, I was a little bit entertained by the Vegeta and the robot looking thing. Even though the
My
choreography
gotcha.
was pretty bad, it still kind of was a little bit entertaining for some reason. It's the current fight we have right now is the Goku and Hit, because
I
I
got
think
there.
I was
I got
very very interested when they were setting it up. I thought for some reason I thought it was kind of a good setup because it made me look forward to it.
Yeah,
Because Hit was just like, I don't care if you turn Super Saiyan Blue, I'm still gonna kick your ass.
exactly.
Um, right now, yeah. So the current fight right now is holding my attention, and I'm
You'll,
enjoying it.
you'll like 39. Trust me, you'll like 39.
Okay, awesome, awesome. What about you, Cole? What's your favorite fight so far?
I gotta agree, Goku versus Hit, because it's and it just feels good to be kind of back in a tournament setting in the first place, though, because like we haven't really had that since, gosh, before Z. I mean, the only tournament we had in Z was interrupted in the middle of it by the Buu arc, so we're kind of back in familiar ground here with the tournament saga, and it's great to
Well,
see. It's great to see
Cell
a
Games. Cell Games is tournament.
kinda. It was more just it was like a tournament for like a few episodes, then it just became one fight. It
No, that's
dissolved.
true.
It broke
That's
apart. I mean, Cell himself destroyed his own stage. You know,
yeah.
but it's like I think what makes this interesting is because there's not really any personal vendetta against anyone. It's kind of just a fight for fight's sake, and that's what Goku thrives. You know, that's what Goku lives for. It's cool to see them in their environment again.
And it's very
Vegeta.
interesting too, because like I always say, like you need stakes, you need something worth fighting for. But you're definitely on. You're right, because like Dragon Ball, there wasn't really it was just competition, and competition could be very intriguing and interesting as well. So I can see what you're talking about there.
Exactly. And there are stakes too, with the Earth at stake and the Super Dragon Balls and all that, but it's not the main focus. The main
No,
focus is more or less the fight. Even Goku admits, I think I'm not sure if it was in 39 or a recent episode, that's like, I don't care about the prize. I just want to keep fighting, He doesn't care almost.
yeah.
Goku being selfish once again. That's what Goku's a very selfish character, you
Oh
know?
yeah. Oh yeah,
Very selfish. He
he's
ain't
very
no
when it comes to fighting. Yes, he is.
Yes, he ain't no pure-hearted hero like the English dub made him out to be in the early Z dub, you know,
No.
like how in the Saiyan saga when Goku basically pleads to Krillin, you know, it's like in the English dub it was like let him go, we're better than this, it kind of thing something pure. In the original dub it was just like I want to fight him again, let him live, please. He's a strong opponent, I must fight him again.
Oh yeah,
It's
there's so many little differences between the
great.
dub and then the sub too.
Oh yeah,
Oh my god.
it's brilliant actually, but
But
thankfully Kai fixed that kind of. I don't know.
honestly, though, I like the dub and where they were going for because then
Yeah,
that's why Goku is so loved because
yeah.
he. I mean, if you gave Akira Toriyama, if you let him do what he wanted to do and make Goku kind of really well, he kind of did make him super selfish, right? I mean, how
He
do you
would be
really root
unlikable.
for a character like that, though?
That's true. That's true. He would be very unlikable. I
Yeah.
understand their reasoning for it, of course, and I do think it kind of makes sense. There are a few areas where I do like the what the English dub attempted to do more than I like the original version, but that's for another video altogether.
Oh yeah,
We should
yeah,
actually
most definitely.
save that someday, like Z versus Kai, do a good podcast on that because
Oh
I've
yeah.
just 'cause I just finished. I really just sat down and watched the kind of the rest of Z where I skipped over a little bit, so I'm well versed on that, kind of. So,
Okay.
yeah, but
I could also see
uh,
them trying to. It's interesting how they're trying to make a little Chi Chi and Goku moments too. Like when Chi Chi went rushing
yeah,
Goku, that was out of nowhere. Like I was like, what? Like I don't know what they're. I think they were trying to really showcase because I
I think
think the
so.
everybody has been saying like Goku is a bad father. He's a bad husband. He's not. He's in it for himself. I mean, he goes, he rushes off any chance he gets.
Exactly.
Um, so that was it. That was very interesting. I don't know what to take away from that,
Well,
honestly, but
I think they're trying to remind people that Chi-Chi is at the end of the day a decent person. She's like, let's face
yes.
it, Chi-Chi has gotten almost no development in Super at all. So
Mm,
we kind of
no.
just know her for her classic trope of just
She
being
needs a new
this.
design.
Exactly, exactly. But all we know her for is kind of just being the loud, noisy, angry mother. We haven't really gotten to know her very much at all. So this is kind of a reminder that hey, there's something a little more here beyond the surface that we've. Because to be fair, most of the what we associate Chi Chi with in the anime was from filler moments. In the manga, she is a lot more. I would say kind-hearted. The filler moments in the anime is what made her more loud and a bit meaner, I think.
Honestly, I've always really liked Chi Chi. I
Yeah,
always, even though she was loud and obnoxious sometimes, but
always.
you could tell she had a heart. You could tell she loved her sons, and you could tell she loved Goku, especially when they first, the proposal, of course. Like I thought it was food. Um,
Love it. Love it.
but it's there, and
It
of course
is.
the filler moments just brings it even more. I mean, I always say the best filler episode is probably Gohan's birthday.
Ah, love it. Love it.
Love that episode.
It's just a wonderful episode. Um, and you're right though. It brings a certain human element to characters who are more or less tropes in a way. I would say even Roshi fell in the same problem. Almost all his filler moments are just him, ogling Launch or some pretty girl. But once in a while, they just step back and give you a much more human moment where you're like, oh, this is actually a genuinely good teacher and a good person at heart.
Yeah, and so I mean, just yes, fillers are terrible, but some of them are actually really, really good.
Very good. I still defend most of the filler in the Saiyan saga is brilliant. Between
You know,
Gohan's training and you know
that's the difference between, let's say, an anime called anime Naruto, who has fillers
ah
up the ass, which is terrible. I can't watch the anime because of those fillers. And the
oh
difference between that series and Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z, because Dragon Ball Z actually knows how to do their fillers really good. They know what they play around with their characters, and they really put some emotional impact on some of them. So
indeed, most of the time, yes. I mean, you have your stupid episodes like the driving episode and all that, but even
I
that
thought
was
that was
still
funny.
it was funny. It
And then
wasn't
the
terrible.
bridge taking hold of that. I mean, you would have never got that bridge episode. Like,
That's true.
move, bitch, get up.
It was. It wasn't terrible. It had a lot of heart in it. It was just something lighthearted and enjoyable. It was a break
who
from
who
the
who doesn't want to
the
see
break.
Goku with a crazy ass shirt, looks like a Hawaiian shirt, going driving.
I mean,
Goku driving.
hell. That's kind of accurate to the covers for the manga that Toriyama drew. I mean, Toriyama loves to draw vehicles, so it's. I mean, look at the covers for the Dragon Ball Z manga. You see like Gohan in a race car and all that, just stuff that never happens,
Oh
but it's
yeah.
stuff Toriyama likes to draw. So it fits. Actually, it fits that.
I don't even think I remember seeing. I don't remember seeing Gohan drive at all in any of the series.
He never had to. He always had either Nimbus or he could fly. He never had to really.
I know.
Well, I mean, maybe in the intro, in that opening song for the Boo Saga, he's in the car with Videl, the Satan Mobile, as I
Ah,
call it.
yeah.
Love it.
They won't-
Love that stuff. I kind of like cars when Toriyama draws them. He likes cars. But anyway, but yeah,
Oh,
sorry,
we,
go on.
we should go to Frost.
Ah,
No, Frost. What was your? What did I think about the Frost?
reveal.
The
Kind of.
Frost reveal, the Frieza, the different version of
Yeah,
Frieza.
he
Basically,
really is basically Frieza.
I
you
was
know?
tripping out, man. I was kind of liking, like, he was like, oh, this Frieza is actually really, really good. He's actually really kind-hearted. He's a good guy. That Frieza. I want to grab a beer with him. Then
Yeah.
that motherfucker turns. I'm like, yep, that's Frieza.
Yeah, yeah.
That's Frieza.
Now, question: Did you want him to turn, or would you have liked it if he stayed altruistic and kind of like Krillin said, who do I root for? Would you have liked it if he stayed like that? It kind of just a good contrast, or you kind of like, if you were in charge of it, where would you have taken his character?
Actually, I would have liked for him to stay kind-hearted.
Agreed.
Yeah, but I knew it wasn't gonna happen since Goku lost. I was like, there's gonna be a loophole. There's gonna be a loophole. Something's gonna happen. He cheated, like, because there was already hints of it that he cheated. So, but I would have liked for him to stay good, and then maybe have that battle between Goku and him a couple of episodes. Actually, make it epic. Make it pretty epic, like the first encounter with Frieza, with Goku and Frieza. But this time around, this Frieza is actually a good, kind-hearted Frieza, and it brings that competition element to it and entertainment element to it.
Yeah, and you know what I wanted to see? Because here's the thing: once I found out that we had a good Frieza, even if we knew he. Of course, we found out later he wasn't. But when we first found out that he was, in essence, a good Frieza, I thought, okay, this is a chance for Vegeta to really shine here. Because think about this, as we know, Vegeta obviously hates Frieza. He has this history with him that nobody other character really has with Frieza. So what if in essence, in the fight, what if Vegeta went too far, in essence, almost like taking out the frustrations he didn't get to, because Vegeta didn't get to kill Frieza, even in the Resurrection of F arc. So what if Vegeta took out this anger on Frost unjustly, or maybe even almost killed him in a way, and almost like this, like you said, a kind of a turnaround, a clash between who is good and who is bad, and who we traditionally see that way,
And
or maybe even this prejudice, this racism against the Frieza race, from his past experiences. This could have been a great moment for Vegeta, but it just didn't go down that way,
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, no. I know exactly what you're talking. And it would have been crazy too. That would have showcased that, Vegeta. Like I said, we talked about how mature he is and how much of peace he is. But maybe he would be on the brink of killing Frost. That there's still Vegeta's still a Saiyan. He still has that anger a little in there, and it could have really kind of showcased a little that he still has it a little bit, and maybe that could have led up to a lot of different arcs with him, and that's why I'm saying, like, maybe that Saiyan, the Saiyan, bringing back the Saiyans, like that you could have really done something with that, but I think they pretty much played the safe route, and that's a shame. That's a shame.
Yeah.
That's why you need a bunch of writers in a room to tell you that, to say, hey, why don't we have Vegeta fight first instead of Goku, and then he could be on the brink of killing Frost, or even killing Frost, and really hint at that Vegeta is still a little bit bad, and he's right there with Goku. He's right there with Goku, Super Saiyan Blue. I mean, imagine another. I think everybody could imagine another Goku versus Vegeta fight, but on equal terms, not like the Buu fight, the Majin Vegeta fight. It could happen, but you don't have people telling you, or maybe they did say that, and they're like, no, let's do the safe route. Let's just have Frieza be Frieza.
Indeed, maybe that could have been the case. I hope they might just go that Saiyan route with the planet. Maybe we could still see that. Who knows? But I do kind of think that'd be interesting to see some kind of turnaround. Maybe, I mean, hell, I think it's possible that I saw a panel with Christopher Sabat and Sean Chamel one time asking where they would like their characters to go
Mm.
if they had control of the characters, and Sabat gave an interesting idea that maybe at one point Goku would, after something happened to him, Goku would have his heart hardened in a way. Goku would
Ooh.
become almost like Vegeta, and Vegeta would have to rein him in, and just kind of like, no, Kakarot, spare him, something like that.
Like a Majin Goku, and who's the
Yes.
one who's gonna have to take him down? Ooh, actually, if you go that route, you could have Vegeta take him down, and actually Vegeta be the hero for a change.
Exactly.
Or you could have his son take him down.
Oh.
Gohan. And that brings full circle what we want, the badass Gohan in before.
Exactly. And maybe not, and
awesome.
and granted, evil Goku would probably go against anything Toriyama wanted, but it brings potential, like I said, for Gohan, for Vegeta, and even if it's just temporary, just have that there, just
Yeah,
like you said, like a Majin almost,
It could totally work because Goku is such a pure. I mean, I'm pretty sure they don't want to do it because Goku's he's our main hero. He will always be a hero. He's the Will Smith of anime.
Image. Yes, it would ruin the marketable image of Goku.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
But character.
I don't know. It'd be. I mean, it definitely. I think that's the problem with Dragon Ball Super. It is all about the business aspect to it. It's all about making money. It's not about the story and where the story can go. If that was the case, then we know that this is just about the money. Like Akira Toriyama would have just ended it from the Bruce saga. He had the Cell saga, but that's not the case. Like they want more money, so they want to put out more Dragon Ball episodes, and it's not about the story, which is a shame because there's lots of potential for a story like this. I mean, people are doing it. They're doing fanfics. They're doing. They have the universe versus universe. I think that one's a lot better. I think that was a lot better.
I haven't read it, but it looks awesome. Just the ideas, just the concepts it deals with, they look awesome. You know?
It's awesome, man. And I feel like they took that a little bit, but I don't know. We'll see.
Because that's the thing, it's like Dragon Ball has the potential to be more than just a series of action scenes. It has the potential to be, and it was, something meaningful, something a lot deeper, more impactful, more intangible, and more inspirational than just a random sequence of fights. And we had that back in the Cell saga. We had that even in the Saiyan and the Frieza sagas, and to a lesser extent in the Buu saga. But it's that heart, that soul that made Dragon Ball something, the hit that it was in the US and beyond, is all but gone now in Super.
Yeah. I agree, man. The heart is not there. The heart is not there. But you know what? I will give Super this. It's not. It's the Gotham aspect. I watched Gotham on Fox, and it was terrible the first season. The second season is getting a little bit better. Super has some elements that are good ideas. I do love the fact Barris versus Champa. I think Champa is Champa's pretty funny. I like Vados. I like her. So I like that aspect. I like the gods. I like the gods themselves. The Kais, the different dimension or different universe Kais, the designs were a little strange.
The Supreme Kais, you mean?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, pretty bland.
They were strange. They're very strange. I hate to talk about the disappointments of the series because it is disappointing, a lot of it.
Go for it.
There is one disappointing aspect to it, and that's the fact that Piccolo was just along for the ride.
Yeah.
That was it. I mean, shit. So we could have had Gohan there.
You could have had Gohan.
I mean, Piccolo deserves a power up, and they won't give it to him.
Exactly, and here's the thing. Also, is that here's what I have to wonder is like when Piccolo was training Gohan, and they came to him and basically said, hey Gohan, you want to be on the team? And he's like, how long do I have? Only 3 days. Question: why didn't Gohan go into the time chamber?
No clue, man.
It's so easy. Just time chamber. Easy. Done. Training. Super Saiyan God, maybe even. Who knows?
I think the writers forgot.
Damn it. First Toriyama, now the writers. It's like, if they wanted to make Gohan a main character, they could. Will they? I don't know. Maybe later on, but not now, certainly. But there is hope, I think. The training with Piccolo, the desire to protect his loved ones. There's something there that could be tapped into. Maybe. Who knows? Who knows?
Who knows? And maybe the fact that maybe a possible future Trunks might be
Right.
a rear end shot.
That could mean a lot.
That
You know.
could definitely mean a lot. I mean, it could definitely. There's so many possibilities where they could take Super. But it's just right. The tournament right now, it's entertaining because Goku versus Hit.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it makes me like, what is going to happen after this tournament? I mean, what's Barris's? Because I believe Barris is going to win.
Right.
Goku's going to win.
Right.
So what is Barris going to do with those Super Dragon Balls?
Good question. I have no idea. What do you think?
I absolutely
What would a god want? you know, he has
exactly.
everything.
I don't
You
think
know,
it's gonna be. It might be a comedic aspect to it for the
maybe,
wish.
maybe he'll wish for panties like Oolong did.
I'm bet
Doubt it.
it might
Doubt
happen.
it. You know what I mean, though.
Ooh,
Something like that,
oh,
where it's just
God.
like something like you said, comedic edge. Who knows?
I mean, for me, like as a writer, like oh my god, like I would just like if I had to write something in there, I'd be like, let's wish for the Saiyan planet back, Universe 6, 7,
I,
or
I
whatever.
I gotta agree with that, and who knows? Maybe Beerus will kind of say, because this thing, Goku goes down in the trailer for episode 40, so maybe Vegeta was I kind of doubt it, but if Vegeta can pull it off, maybe he'll get the wish, and then Vegeta will wish for the planet back. Who knows? There's potential, because again,
There's
the Super Dragon Balls can do anything, so therefore, if anything could wish back a long dead planet, it's them.
oh
you know,
yeah,
who
yeah.
knows?
I mean,
Who
the
knows?
Dragon Balls, are just like can grant any wish.
Exactly,
Any.
and probably only one too, at this point, because they'll scatter again and probably won't be able to be found again for a long, long time. So, they have one thing here to do with these. Don't waste them. Don't waste them.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting what that wish is. I really feel like they're going to go the comedy aspect to it.
Probably.
Some stupid.
Well, maybe because then again, though, they have to set up a new arc. They have to do something to set up a next arc because again, it's not going to end.
No,
I
and they have to have 100 episodes, and we're on 39.
Wait, 100? Where'd you hear that number? I thought it would go more than GT, but I didn't know it was at least 100.
No, they confirmed it a while back ago that
Oh,
this
wow.
Dragon Ball Super is scheduled for 100 episodes.
Well, then, we are in for
So
quite a ride.
where do you go? I
Where
mean, you got to set something up.
I know, and you can't take Goku's power down at all because we saw GT tried to do that and look how that turned out. You can't go the GT route. You have to find a way to make it interesting, but how do you keep it constantly entertaining while there's only so many forms you can exhaust? Even Kaioken is kind of pushing it. That's like reaching to the bottom of the barrel here for things you can do to make Goku stronger.
Yeah, I don't
What
know
do we
where you
do?
go. Actually, you know what? The coolest thing, I love your review about, by the way, and I think this aspect in here could really work is the fusion.
Oh, now it's funny you mentioned that because as soon as I saw the Supreme Kais walk in, I'm like, okay, that's what they're here for. They're gonna give someone the earrings and they're gonna fuse. It has to happen, or even finger
Yeah.
fusion could work too. But I think, what do you think? Do you think that it's likely we'll see fusion?
Yeah, I really do. I mean, if you got 100 episodes, why not? I mean,
Exactly.
I think everybody wants to see a fusion of, Super Saiyan Blue between Vegeta and Goku, or even God mode.
Indeed.
The red or God mode of
Ah,
Vegeta or Goku. I think people want to see that, and I think the writers or people over there working on Dragon Ball Super know that they want to see that.
I think so. Because
So
fusion has been pretty much ignored almost entirely since the Buu saga. It's like it's barely been mentioned in Super at all.
yeah, you can only do transformation so much, and
Indeed.
a lot of people get fatigued in transformations. I mean, hell, when Goku was it Goku or was it? I think it was Goku fighting Frost. He's like, oh, go ahead and turn. You can go ahead and transform now. Go ahead and do it.
Exactly. That was
Your
Goku.
final form.
Yeah. You're holding back. I can tell.
Yeah, like
it's awesome.
you can only do so much.
Yes.
I would love to see Fusion back, and I loved your review on it and the villain
Well, thank
in
you.
that Fusion film. I mean, he was cool looking, man. He was really,
He
really
was.
awesome. I haven't seen that film for a long, long time, so it just brings me back a lot of memories about it.
Oh,
Um, but yeah, I mean, Fusion could work. Fusion could definitely work, especially
it
where do
could.
you go, but especially where do you go with Goten and Trunks?
Almost nowhere at this point. In fact, I wondered why weren't Goten and Trunks older? They should be at least 12 years old, 13 years old. It's been a couple years since the Boo Saga, but they're still like 5 years old. What happened?
Yeah, right.
They haven't
Haven't
aged.
even grown.
Why? You know?
Where does this take place?
I
What
know. And
what's
that's
going on here?
and
That's mind boggling.
that's the one thing I do kind of like about GT that they wasted, of course, but it was 10 years after we had an older Goten, older Trunks, older Pan. Like we had, the old characters were still there, but we had this fresh meat in a way that could have worked. Of course, they wasted Goten and GT and even Trunks, but it's like it could have worked, So maybe will we go beyond the end of Z in Super? That's what I wonder. Because then we have Oob, then we have a lot of interesting things that could be explored beyond that ending. Because I think most people don't like the ending of Z because it comes out of nowhere and doesn't make a whole lot of sense, and it makes Goku look like a dick of a father. So it's like, you could go beyond that and expand that ending a bit, like what GT started to do in episode 1, only do it better.
So is Oob even part of this universe?
Yeah, I mean, well, I mean, I was thinking about it. At the end of Z, it was 10 years after the Boo Saga. Oob was reincarnated. The evil Boo was reincarnated into Oob, and he just got old enough then to actually meet Goku. And they mentioned in Super how Oob was born. He's just still a kid, So he's a baby now in
So
Super,
he was mentioned in Super.
He was. Yeah, I
It
think
doesn't. It
I
makes no
believe it was.
sense though.
Well, I mean, I believe when Goku was mentioning how, like, who could we recruit, because he mentioned specifically how the evil Majin Buu is still a baby at this point. Um, it doesn't make sense. Not really, no, but it could
No.
be explored. Who knows? Something.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I
I want
kind
a
of doubt it.
transformation like this, man. I
Super
want this.
Saiyan, Super Saiyan 4. Well, yeah, that could work. That could certainly
I'm
work.
not necessarily saying Super Saiyan. Like you can. I mean, I would like at least some of the gorilla aspects to maybe a different design.
Actually, I do kind of agree. I actually kind of wish that they had gone that route for Super Saiyan God, because like that's the thing. A Saiyan God, Saiyans are primates. They should look more monkey-like. A Saiyan God should have those aspects in him more than just a change of hair color.
Yeah, I love how Vegeta and Goku tell Kaba, like, "Where's your tail? Did you have a tail? Did you take off your tail? Like, where was your tail? Like,
Exactly.
nah, man, we don't have tails."
Exactly. It's like they should embrace that of themselves. I think embrace that. Because Goku's tail and that. Well, he's based on Sun Wukong, of course, from the Journey to the West, who was a monkey. So it's like you should embrace that. Don't forget that heritage of where Goku came from in the first place.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
Also wanted to bring the fact that when we're talking about Oob, where's Vegeta's brother?
Terrible. I think Terrible is non-canon now. I mean, it wouldn't make sense.
He's not canon when they said he was canon. Just absolutely
in Battle of Gods, they mention him, but it's like, well, here's the thing. Toriyama wrote that special Yo Son Goku in his Friend's Return. He wrote that. Terrible was his creation, and he put him in Battle of Gods apparently in the screenplay. Why did he leave him out of Super? Because surely someone had to notice that. But
we got Bulma's sister.
Who came out of nowhere and was never even mentioned. That was lazy.
We got Bulma's sister.
We have Bulma's sister, but yeah, Terrible. Yeah, actually, because that's the thing. Also, is that I heard a podcast one time about the resurrection of F arc in Super, and somebody said that imagine what it would mean if Terrible came back to help fight Frieza, and maybe even Terrible would not make him a lamb or anything, but basically have Frieza kill Terrible. The idea I heard was have Frieza kill Terrible, kill Trunks, and maybe even try to kill Bulma. And at that moment of like, his family is dead, he's losing. That's when he's
dead.
Yeah, and when his family is on the verge of all but dead, that's when Vegeta unlocks SSJ Blue. That's that ultimate moment, like something like that. it would never happen, but it's like they came so close too when Frieza recognizes Trunks in the arc. He's like, I know that kid, you know. It's like you came so close, just kill him, easy. And again, death means nothing in this game because you have the Dragon Balls anyway. You
Yeah,
know, you
there
can
is
do anything.
definitely no I don't want to say there's no consequence. They tried to do that in Resurrection of F, but you knew that something was going to happen where not the world
Yeah,
wasn't destroyed.
yeah. They told us about time travel in the beginning, so we kind of it was no surprise, you know, and that's a shame because it could have been a great surprise.
Yeah.
Uh, that's the thing. They're running out of stakes. You know, they're
Yeah.
running out of stakes.
So we're in episode 39 of Dragon Ball Super. We agree that the hit versus Goku is actually very entertaining. It's actually really
Yes,
really good.
and I would say very Z-like in its choreography and the way it's portrayed. I think it's almost a return to the classic style. But again, where can they go from this? You know, what
I w-
now?
I'm putting my hat in. I would love, that brings me to another thing. Like, we know that my friend was like, what I would love to see in Super? Like, he's not, all into, like, he's a Dragon Ball Z fan, but he's not, like us, where we're studying it, we're looking
Oh
at it,
yeah.
we're seeing the goods and pros and cons and stuff. Hell, he doesn't even really know what Super kind of is about. But the one thing he wants is that is a non-canon character. He wants Broly. And I think a lot of people
Oh,
want Broly.
do you want Broly?
You know what? I kind of do. I kind of want some
Mm,
form of Broly at least. Another Saiyan like God.
that would be interesting. I think.
I mean,
I
it doesn't
wouldn't say.
necessarily have to be Broly, but I would like some kind of form of
So,
Broly.
I agree. Something along those lines would be interesting just because again like you said that Saiyan dynamic of Vegeta especially you could bring that you could have almost what Vegeta was you know because if you want to make Vegeta mature have the contrast of this ruthless bloodthirsty warrior who doesn't care about anything or anyone.
Yeah.
Broly could serve that purpose well. Granted, Broly can only work though if they make him into a more interesting character. His character is all but non-existent in the movies.
Rage. His character was
His his
Rage.
his character is rage, and his one line is Kakarot.
Yeah,
It's
pretty
just, he
much.
has
It's like Akira. Kaneda! Tetsuo!
well said. Exactly. That's all Broly has. So if they could develop that, maybe, because I think you could. There's something there to be done. Do I want Broly specifically? Again, if they do something right with him, maybe. But a Broly-like character, yeah, I think that'd be good because it'd be good, and also it would have a good rival for both Goku and Vegeta. Maybe who knows? You know,
Yeah.
this is
Because at this point, it just seems like the Saiyan is other than Barris, Saiyans are like the one true rival for these two.
exactly. You know, and well, it's obvious that Hit will go down at some point, of course, but I think it'd be cool to see a villain like Broly, just this ruthless warrior, and because think about it, in the first arc we had Beerus, who turns out was kind of more of an anti-hero, more of a loner style, his own thing. Then we had Frieza, who of course we knew was going to go down after a short time, and who was just about vengeance. But imagine more of I would say almost like a Cell type villain, just a cunning warrior who just kind of lives for battle and just loves it and just like that's all he wants in life, and he doesn't care about anything else. That could work, you
I
know?
would love for him to also fight, like when he's fighting Vegeta, to tell him, "You think you have Saiyan pride? You don't have Saiyan pride. I have Saiyan pride. I know I'm for my people 100%. You look at you have Earthlings as a family.
Oh, that
That's
would
not
be
saying. That's not
now.
saying pride.
You push the pride button. Oh, that would be fucking awesome. I mean, it's like it just I'm fanboying over that idea.
I
Just like
would love it. I would
tackle
love
that
it.
because
You
I
know, but
because
they don't do it. They don't do it. They have.
well they
I don't
probably
see how they
won't.
don't do it.
They probably won't. But it's like, and that's the thing. Also, it's perfect now because remember what Vegeta said to Kaba. You know, never forget your pride. That's where we get our
Mhm.
strength from. They brought the pride element into that. So use that. You know,
Yeah,
have his own words haunt him.
yeah, exactly. You know what was interesting when I was thinking right now? Like, what if Hit actually ends up winning, and what if Champa ends up getting the
That
Earth?
that might be where they take it, actually. You know, that might be where they go with this. And if so, that opens up a lot of potential. You know,
That means you get the cross between this Earth with the universe, and then you explore the other universe.
exactly. You have more at that point. You have more Saiyans. You have more. You know, hell, you still have. Assuming Frost isn't dead. Who knows what he could go
Oh,
on
he's
to?
not dead. Like, he's just like, you see him on the couch.
Yeah. He's just beaten. There's like, who knows where that could go? You know, who knows? Maybe we'll see an alternate version of Cooler. Maybe who knows? Something like that, like a stronger version of that character. Who knows? I wouldn't want another Frieza, but you know what I mean. It's like just this. I agree. A new universe would give us potential.
What if? Oh no, this universe can't be with future Trunks. I don't think.
No, no.
No.
Earth's destroyed and all that. It wouldn't. I wish that was the case. Though I wish multiverse theory worked with this, but it just doesn't. I'm afraid. You know.
Man, I could see that kind of happening too, because like you're right, like we have 100 episodes, right? We need 100 episodes to complete.
Exactly.
So where do you go with that? And that does bring an interesting dynamic. I mean, I'm sure at some point the Earth will go back to its proper universe, but let's explore, man. Let's explore. And that was the beauty of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. Is they went to Namek, they went around the world, even especially in Dragon Ball, they went around the world.
Exactly. And I would say also even that was the strength of the idea of the first arc of GT, exploring these different planets and all that. Granted, they were boring ass planets, but just explore it, go out there and do it. It felt good. So do that here, only better. That could work. You're right.
It could totally work. I would love to see that happen, and it might very well happen. I mean, I don't think people were shocked that when Goku lost to Frost, and then we knew that something's going to happen, this and that.
Oh yeah,
but hell, people are gonna. I think that would be kind of a shock for Hit to win against Goku, and we're finding out, hey, this is going a direction. This is really going somewhere where I don't know what's going to happen, and that's new, fresh material. It's just their job to make to execute and succeed in the storylines and the characters.
Yeah. And now that you say that too, imagine this too, because we know from Frost and even Cabba's dialogue that this universe is war torn. And hell, if the Earth is decimated and destroyed, this might be a war torn, brutal, battle hungry universe. I mean, think of the potential there. I mean, what if I wouldn't say. What if, say, Goku and Vegeta, they go off of Kappa and they go around kind of as a task force? The Z fighters kind of become this galactic, not patrolmen, but just like this force of good who go around just stopping evil. That could work.
But not only that, like if their Earth was destroyed, that means Goku and Vegeta have to make sure that their Earth is not destroyed. So that brings lots of possibility for a lot of different villains.
It does. It does. There is a lot they could do with this,
Mm-hmm.
Now we mentioned this, I kind of hope Hit wins now.
Yeah.
I hope he does.
I hope he gets a hit in to knock out Goku.
Oh, there it is. I knew that was coming. I knew it.
I love it. And then not only that, like it's going to be interesting with Champa and Barris, that relationship. Where do you go with that too? If it does win, like what happens to Barris? Like what happens to Champa?
Oh God! If Champa wins, imagine this. What if he wishes for Barris to be just like non-existent anymore? Like what?
Oh my God!
Imagine that. And then there's no one who can rein Champa in at that point.
No. And then that gives Goku and Vegeta motivation we need to find a way to get Barris his ass back.
Exactly. Imagine almost like I wouldn't say. Not unlike the Namek arc, where their main goal was to wish their friends back in a way. It's like, what if something like that happens? Where it's like, yeah, that's their main goal.
To wish a god back. Yeah.
Yeah. Imagine if Champa gets that and wishes for ultimate power. The potential there.
Yeah.
Not even Vados can stop him.
Technically, that wouldn't work though, because every universe, I guess, has to have a god. It'd be crazy if like Champa is able to handle both universes.
Well, hey, maybe you could ask for that, a fusion of the two universes. Who knows? Like, again, they can grant any wish,
Mm-hmm.
limitless. Yeah. So it's like, who knows?
Why not? Why not?
Why not do it?
So the future's looking bright, man. I mean, the future could look bright. It could look bright.
It could. If they do it right. If they play the cards right, I think they could. And if the latest episode was any indication of where the animation is going, I think it's getting a tad bit better. I really think it is. So I mean, no promises here, but if they can keep it up, we might get something kind of passable. We'll see. I like, again, you'll like 39. The fight is, I think, legitimately good, and just feels like Z, the way they move, the way they punch things. It looks good. It reminded me a lot of Goku versus Cell. You know,
Okay, that gives me hope. I can't wait to see episode 39 and really give a full review on that.
can't wait to see. I can't wait to see your review, man. I'm sure it's going to be great. You know?
Yeah, it's gonna be very interesting because like I said, this fight with between Hit is actually very entertaining and it actually is kind of I'm looking forward to it, especially
Oh yeah.
when he was first fighting Hit. And yeah, we're right. Like Goku's smart when it comes to fighting. Like he's a genius when it comes to fighting.
Mm.
Um, so learning pretty much, I mean, he got a hint, but like learning basically hits like kind of movements and stuff, and really catching up with them. That was really cool. I really like that because
Right.
it really showcased that Goku still, you know,
Indeed.
he's a buffoon, but when it comes to fighting, he's
Yeah.
nobody to like. He still sounds like it. He's kind of sounds like a comedic idiot, but the dude knows how to fight. The dude does know techniques, and he does know how
Exactly.
to
Ex-
assess the situation.
Exactly. But you know what I think is going to happen? Here's what I think is going to happen. I think we're going to see almost a repeat of what we saw in the Resurrection of F arc. Goku's going to have so much fun and so much, and he's going to enjoy the fight so much. He's going to run out of Kaioken, then he's going to lose. You know, because again, that's not a time limit here. He's running out of ki as it is.
Yeah,
He has to make it work. And when we see, I believe when we see in that brief moment where we see Goku getting punched by Hit, he's no longer in Kaioken mode. So it's like I think it's going to run out. He's gonna get knocked out. Hit's gonna win, and then maybe we'll get this new Champa verse. Who knows?
maybe. I'm hoping. I'm hoping now because there's a lot of possibilities now.
So much potential, you know, so much that could work.
I want to doubt that they play the safe route though and have Goku.
But you know, maybe not though, because again, if they have Goku win again, where the hell do you go in this story?
Yeah,
For 60 plus more episodes, where do you go?
yeah, yeah.
You know?
Most definitely, man.
Uh,
I wanted to present a question to you, Colt.
yeah,
It's going to be a little sidetrack from the Dragon Ball Super universe, but
sure
it's
thing.
going to be still a little bit, in the Dragon Ball Super universe. We're going to get a character out of that Dragon Ball Super universe.
Oh,
Okay, so a lot of people always talk about Goku versus Superman.
oh,
Always talk about Goku versus Superman. That's a long debate and stuff.
mm.
However, nobody asks, how about Superman versus Wiz?
Oh,
I
oh.
think Wiz is way stronger than Goku because this dude, like, he not only is he the teacher of Barris, a god of destruction, but
I gotta admit, when it comes between Whis and Superman, I'm putting my money on Whis.
like
You know,
Wiz could
I gotta put my money
he's
on
got some
him.
tricks up his sleeve.
Indeed, and now that'd be a good fight. You know, imagine that. Actually, no, to take it back. I was just thinking, like, what if we had a Justice League Dragon Ball Evolution crossover? It'd be the worst movie ever.
Terrible.
It'd be so terrible, but it'd be hilarious.
Oh my god.
Uh,
That brings me another question though. So I think they kind of talk about maybe more in Dragon Ball Super episode 39.
Mhm.
But what the fuck is with this Monica guy?
Yeah, that.
They
What
talk
is
about
up
it
with
more?
Monica?
Episode 39?
No, actually, they don't.
Okay.
He's just still
Well,
sitting
what
there
is
on the couch. You
Oh
know.
my god.
But yeah, I think what it was that Beerus was bluffing in a way. Goku was the strongest being he faced, and he brought Monaka there just to kind of, like we said, kind of motivate them and not let him get too cocky, you know.
Yeah.
But I think his bluff's been called now, you know.
Yeah, I thought it was
Goku
a
is
pretty
his
funny
trump
scene when
card.
Goku was trying to go towards him and Wiz like, yeah, he's been out cold ever since like the first transformation.
Exactly. And here's a question for you too. Actually, that brings up a good question though. Now we thought maybe Monaka was Beerus' trump card, but now that we know he's not. Imagine this. What if this could be interesting? Suppose that maybe because here's the thing, they never had Universe 7, our universe, never had a fifth fighter. Majin Buu never passed the test. What if Beerus jumps in and tries to beat Hit and loses? You know? What if Hit can beat Goku? And again, if Hit can get his time leap up to 0.5 seconds, that could be enough to beat Beerus. Dare I say it? And think about what happens then,
I don't think so, man. I don't think Beerus is like he's too beast. Like he didn't even
Maybe.
he's
Maybe.
still
He's
beyond
sweating.
Goku's level, I think.
True, but he's sweating now. I mean, when Goku broke out the Kaioken, Beerus was like, "Oh my goodness, this exists." He was worried. He was sweating at the Kaioken. You know,
I still think he
so
wins. I still think he wins.
maybe,
Just too. He's a
maybe,
god, man. I mean, I just feel like Goku is not there yet, and I don't think if Hit's having trouble
probably
with
not.
Goku,
Not,
I don't
uh,
think Hit's there yet.
not to say you're maybe right, but here's a question for you: between Beerus and Champa, who would win? You know, again, Beerus or like, because they've been teasing us with this battle of them butting heads all this time. Will we ever actually get a real fight? I wonder. You
It's
know,
a
will we get
tie. It's a
a
tie.
tie?
It's always going to be a tie. I think that's what they did with
Yeah,
the
you're right.
rock paper scissors. It's always going to be a
Actually,
tie.
I think you're right. Yeah, it'd be a tie. There'd be no point to it.
There's no point to that fight, and they even
You're
said it
right.
in there. Like, there's no point for you guys fighting. Like, it's
Ah,
always gonna or
I,
doing the rock paper scissors. It's always a fucking tie.
I forgot about that. You're right, though. You're right.
Mhm.
No point. Never mind.
But,
Question
but,
retracted.
but watch. I think they're gonna play this comedic aspect. So, what if our theories was right? Right. What if Champa gets universe, the universe 6, I believe, or are we in universe 7? Goku's universe.
Yeah, Goku's universe is number 7, I believe. Yeah.
Number 7. What if he gets universe 7? You know what's gonna happen is Hit's gonna be Goku, and Goku's gonna Barris is gonna mouth's gonna drop, and Goku's like, "Oh, yeah, don't worry, we got Monica."
Exactly.
Play,
Exactly.
and boom, done,
itself.
nothing. Just like, and Goku's gonna be like, "Wait, what? Like, everybody's gonna be like, mouth's drop, like he lost. I thought he was
Exactly.
the strongest fighter."
Oh, it writes itself practically.
Yeah, I
It's
think that
perfect.
can happen. Because, like, why would
It
they
should
bring this?
happen.
I mean, other than motivation, like, they could probably use that comedic aspect to it, that comedic scene.
I think is that the way you describe that is bound to happen now. If Goku does not lose in episode 40 or 41, I will be amazed because again, there's nowhere they can take the story at that point. You know, they'll kill
Yeah,
the story if they go the safe route. They can't do that. They know they can't do that. Let's see what happens here. You know,
yeah.
this is
It's not
interesting.
like new anime, that's been coming out where it's fresh. It's like it seems like they have a lot of ideas. Like Dragon Ball Super could have a lot of ideas and a lot of potential, like we've been talking all this time.
Oh yeah,
But it's a franchise that if you take the wrong step, like there's nowhere to go with it.
yeah. There's nothing there at
Yeah,
that point. You
no.
know, so yeah. Let's see what they can do with this. I'm very curious. Um, but yeah, I think we can both agree that the future of Super is looking a bit brighter than it was a few months ago when we were still in the middle of Frieza.
Yes,
It's looking a bit brighter.
yes.
You know, not perfect, but let's see where it goes.
What also is looking brighter is that the fact that there might be a live action Dragon Ball Z movie in the works in Japan.
This is news to me.
Well, you haven't heard of it?
No, I mean I've heard about a live action Pokemon movie in the works, and of course that Ghost in the Shell
Uh,
controversy, but never
Ghost in the
not.
Shell, and then also Death Note going to Netflix.
Right, but a Z movie,
Wow.
really?
Yeah, Akira Toriyama is saying that there's a Dragon Ball Z film in the works in Japan. In Japan.
Well, this gives me hope. You know,
Yes.
if Toriyama's working on it or giving some involvement, that could work. We'll see.
Because he was pissed. He was pissed in Evolution, so he's probably like,
I mean, he's pissed about. I forget. Is he still pissed about Super? Was he ever pissed at all? Was he just kind of disappointed? I forget.
I think he was pissed. I'm not sure. I didn't hear no confirmation. I just remember a For Never World video coming up and talking about it, but
Right.
I don't know.
But yeah, I agree though. It's like that's interesting because it'd be cool to see what the man himself could do and what he would want to bring to the table. And if anyone could do it right, it'd be Japan. So
Yeah, that's that's an interesting aspect. Let's get into that. Let's get into live action movies because I'm in the film realm. I love doing movie reviews. I got to go watch the Jungle Book. The Jungle Book is pretty awesome. But this remind Dragon Ball Evolution was terrible.
Oh yeah,
I don't know if it's probably worse than Avatar: The Last Airbender, which we need to do our Avatar podcast soon.
we do. But now that I've just moved into my new place, we can. So
yeah. Most definitely.
I'm
So yeah, I mean the fact of another Dragon Ball live action movie, like there's been a lot of fan films out there on YouTube, a lot of good ones.
Yeah.
But even if Japan takes hold of a Dragon Ball Z film, do you still think it's capable of them doing a very fantastic one? Because a lot of Japan did excuse me, Japan did Attack on Titan
Oh.
live action,
There it is. I knew you were going to mention that.
and that film was horrible.
Oh.
It didn't even stick to most of the source material. It was horrible. I don't know how part two did, but the first part was horrible. So
Oh.
just because Japan, excuse me,
Yeah.
is taking over Dragon Ball Z, I mean, I don't know.
There's no guarantee. There's no guarantee at this point. It's up in the air. Can they do it? Maybe. I mean, have
It's
there
very
really
hard to
been
do.
any really good anime adaptations into live action, to your knowledge?
Edge of Tomorrow.
Never saw that one.
It's with Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt.
I heard about it.
It's
That was an
actually
anime adaptation?
it's not an anime series. It's actually a light novel slash manga. It's called All You Need Is Kill. Fantastic manga, fantastic light novel.
Never
They
heard of it.
adapted it from that. They stuck with a lot of the source material. They only strayed a little bit, but only a little bit to make the film work on the big screen.
Whoa.
Actually, Edge of Tomorrow is getting a sequel, so it did great.
Huh.
Uh,
I had no idea.
it's fantastic, man. It's a live, die, repeat kind of scenario where
Oh,
Tom Cruise lives. It's like what's it called? The one with Bill Murray.
Groundhog Day.
Groundhog Day. It's like Groundhog Day, but with mecha. Not mech. I don't want to say mecha. Like pretty much, it has a little Matrix in there. Has a lot of action in there. It's fantastic. It is by far the best animation, any anime source material that I've seen, and it's
Wow.
fantastic. It's great. And
I'll
actually,
watch it.
moving on to like other kind of animes that I mean, we can get to Ghost in the Shell right real quick. I mean, but I'm very excited for Netflix having the rights to Death Note. For Netflix
Ah,
producing a show like Death Note because Netflix has been killing it.
I
You
heard
watch
about that.
you watch Jessica Jones, you watch Orange is the New Black, you watch
Mm.
Sense8, you watch all these original shows by Netflix. They know what they're doing. So having an anime come over to Netflix is actually it's genius. It's genius to do it instead of a big screen adaptation like
Oh
Warner
yeah.
Brothers was trying to do, and what they're trying to do with Akira, and
Mm.
bringing that over here to Netflix, and that leaves doors open if it ends up being a hit, if it ends up being critically acclaimed. That means that hey, other big animes will might be able to get the same treatment because I really do believe Hollywood is trying to move into the anime realm because the anime realm is that's other than the superhero aspect to it, and then of course we have Star Wars, the sci-fi aspect to it. They probably want another flavor in that mix.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I agree. Um, Now, of course, they can do that. As we've seen, of course, they can do it wrong. Now, the question is, though, will Hollywood learn from Netflix and try to use similar methods in a way? Like, will we see a decently produced anime show on TV? Netflix has changed the game on this kind of stuff. So I really wonder, will the you could say the big wigs over at the corporations, with the charts and all that, will they learn from this and say, okay, let's do this now, or will they never learn from their mistakes and just repeat the same disasters?
I think so because I think don't call me don't like I haven't read up on it anything on this. I'm just going for what I've been watching on Netflix and stuff. There's an
Mhm.
anime called Seven Deadly Sins, which is actually a manga in Japan.
Heard about that. My girlfriend recommended that to me,
Oh, it's
actually.
it's fantastical. Watch it, and we'll do a podcast on it because I'm sort
You
of
got
talk
it.
about the Seven Deadly Sins.
You
But
got it, man.
but what the Seven Deadly Sins is a manga, and it's doing really good in Japan and stuff. It's actually becoming really popular. I think it's like Fairy Tale, but so much better than Fairy Tale.
Ooh.
I think Netflix acquired the rights to the Seven Deadly Sins anime, and they produced it, and then they put it out on Netflix. I think that's what happened because it says a Netflix original. So
Huh.
Netflix is doing work, and they have some. I don't want to say anime because it's like that computer animation. They have original kind of animation like that on Netflix
Oh.
that they produce. So I mean, it looks like we're taking a step towards at least attempting to bring anime into the Hollywood universe, especially with Ghost in the Shell, and especially with Scarlett Johansson as the lead.
Yeah. What do you think about that too? Because there's been a lot of controversy around that. I feel like what I heard at least that the studio was kind of boasting how they're using new makeup techniques to make Scarlett Johansson look more Asian, and the response of the internet was, "Why not just hire an Asian actress?" kind of a no-brainer, but it's like, is it justified?
Um, the picture that they released, she didn't look very Asian. She just looked like she had the haircut
No,
of an Asian,
exactly.
of Makoto. But I love Ghost in the Shell. Ghost in the Shell is a very popular property, dear to my heart. It's
Mm,
very mind blowing. It's very. If you've seen that Tom Cruise film Minority Report, they take some aspects from Ghost in the Shell. Also, The Matrix is heavily influenced by Ghost in the Shell.
really?
Yes. I really do think this could work. Ghost in the Shell is a property that can actually work because it's a story. It's not a long series story like Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z, where there's so much material you have to cram in on one
Mm.
film. It's actually Ghost in the Shell is a case. It's a case. It's a thriller. It's a mystery kind of thriller sometimes. It's a
Oh,
sci-fi thriller. It's there's one kind of hacker called the Laughing Man. There's an arc on that. But it would
whoa.
be brilliant for a movie because it really does fit the realm of live action film.
Hmm.
The controversy over Scarlett Johansson. Listen. I know why Hollywood cast Scarlett Johansson because she's a name. She's gonna make the money. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
I don't fault them for getting somebody like that to be the
Hmm.
lead in this, probably a somewhat a good budget film that they're producing.
Oh, yeah.
Um, but if they don't have diversity in the other cast members, because I love this character named Bato. Bato is with the eyes. He has cyborg kind of
Hmm.
material in his body and stuff. If they don't cast a diverse cast, then I would slap it and say, what are you doing? Like, what this is
Yeah.
that then you start kind of thinking like, yeah, maybe you should have casted, an Asian lead for this film because like why are you
Right.
making everybody, this is Ghost in a Shell. Their names are Japanese, Bato
Exactly.
or
Yeah.
Makoto. Like,
You can't whitewash
um,
the whole thing, you
yeah,
know?
why are you whitewashing the whole thing? But if they cast I haven't seen who else they cast in the film, but if they're casting a diverse group, I'm fine with it.
Mm.
I'm fine with it because they at least need a big name for Scarlett Johansson. What I'm not fine with is the fact that they're saying that they have techniques to make Scarlett Johansson a little bit Asian looking. Don't
Yeah.
do that. Just don't do
That
that. If you're gonna cast Scarlett Johansson, put her in the role. You could say maybe she is half and half. I don't want to say half and half. Maybe she was adopted from you know, a, well, then again, the character Makoto, she's just a cyborg. She's a cyborg. That's how it is.
Oh.
But actually, that could actually work as well. You have to have smart writers, though. I mean, a Ghost in a Shell, it's just your soul transferring over to another body,
Oh.
basically. So Makoto, maybe she kept the name Makoto. Maybe she was, or Asian, uh, in her real body, but then she transferred over to this body. They could
Could
do
be.
that.
They could.
So people, the problem with people in the anime community is they judge something before they see any trailers, before they even watch. Well, I guess you can have expectations when you see a trailer,
Mm.
but they judge something before they see the film. And that's what I encourage everybody is to watch the film first and then judge. So
Oh,
that
yeah.
could be part of the element. That could be part of the story.
I
And
think so.
like I said, like diversity, they could actually have a diverse cast in there. And this film, if anything's going to work, I think that property could work fully into the live action. And that, like I said, if that works, you open the doors for a lot of anime. The one anime I just don't agree on, maybe a live action adaptation, is a long series anime, and that is either Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z or
Mm.
Bleach or Naruto. I
Oh,
know
yeah.
that Lionsgate acquired Naruto rights, but it's such a
Uh,
long series. It's hard. It's hard. Harry Potter did it, but then Harry Potter, I don't know. Harry Potter is not as long as Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z.
exactly. Yeah. And it's and of course, you're comparing also a book to a manga and an anime, which already has a fan base which expects so much from it. You
Yeah.
can make more allowances when you do it from a book. When you have a set anime that people know by heart, and you change stuff around, it's just not a pretty picture.
And you got to realize, a lot of people don't realize is like when you're trying to adapt. I know you want to stick with the source material, and I know you want every little thing, just like the anime, onto the big screen. You
Mm,
can't do that. You
yeah.
can't do that with live action. You have to change some things. So Dragon Ball Evolution, they had to change some things. I mean, they changed too many things about it.
Yes.
They didn't have the heart, the soul of the
Even the
Dragon Ball series.
even the characters like Krillin just gone.
Yeah, no characters either. But you have to, if you're like Edge of Tomorrow and you change little here and there and tweak it a little bit, it works.
Yeah,
You just have to do it because anime is so over the top. Like Cowboy Bebop, it could really work,
it
but I
could.
think you would have to change a little aspects to that as well to fit to live action.
I think so. Yeah, yeah, I agree. It can be done. It just has to be a smart adaptation, you know? It can't just be a cheap cash in on a big name. It has to have a passion and heart and soul put into it by people who know it and love the product. You know?
Mhm.
You need a
They have to
dedicated
have it
people.
backed up by the studio as well. The studio has to be 100% on board
Oh,
on
yes.
adapting a great adaptation. If they want a franchise, if they want money, they have to know that, okay, this is only going to work if not only is the film great and we get critically acclaimed, people are, and it's something fresh and new because the story is already fresh and new. What's so great about anime and what's so great about the anime culture or manga culture as well is the stories are so fresh, so new, so they take chances.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that's the problem with over here in America. I want to say that we don't take chances. I mean, comic books and alike, like people are, we have, people doing that, but I feel like anime and manga, they push the envelope a little bit more.
I think so, yeah. You see a lot more twist endings and surprising takes in anime. Like for example, I think one of my favorite anime, and this is gonna sound really weird, I'm sure. You ever hear of an anime called Puella Magi Madoka Magica?
I think I heard about it.
It's a magical girl anime, but I know what you're thinking. It ain't no Sailor Moon. It's like it is essentially Sailor Moon with a lot of darker elements put into it, to the point where it becomes quite depressing, quite grim, quite gruesome actually. Very surprising. I mean, hell, the writer is a horror manga author. So it's like it's a really great product, and it has so many twists in it that I feel like that's what people want. You know,
Yeah.
it's something somewhat familiar in a similar genre, but it changed it so much that it becomes its own unique beast at that point. It's a very short anime. You should watch it. It's only, I think, 12 episodes long. Very well done. Very good. A lot of heart into it. Just forget you're watching a magical girl anime. Okay,
Yeah.
it's not that bad. I promise you. You forget you're watching it after the first episode.
Well, the best anime I believe is like the 12 episode mark, or even you can go like 25 episode mark of anime.
Yeah,
I think that's the best kind of anime. I
I
know we're
think
gonna
so.
do a Avatar podcast soon, but that was the difference between Legend of Korra and anime. Is like they fumbled so hard
Yeah.
on that
Oh,
just that short amount of episodes that you could have done. It was just mind-boggling how they couldn't do it for Legend of Korra, and they could do it in other animes like this.
so true. So true. And speaking of anime, also, I'm very curious to see what your thoughts on this. This is very off topic, I realize, and forgive me for changing the topic like this,
No,
but
no, no, no. I mean, Dragon Ball Z. What's so great about Dragon Ball Z is that it inspired so many animes, especially action animes. So, like,
so
it
true.
would be an insult not to talk about other animes because that's what Dragon Ball Z set the standards, and especially in America. And we're talking about like,
Oh yeah.
what's big over here in America and how you get anime to be big in America because Dragon Ball Z helped the anime community by having people embrace this culture.
Exactly, yes. And for many people, Dragon Ball Z was their first introduction to this culture. Hell, I mean, I bet you, if you went back in time to the 90s, the late 90s, and asked people, did you know Dragon Ball Z was Japanese? They probably wouldn't even know. This
No,
was their first introduction to it, you
actually,
know?
that's a funny thing because my buddy on Facebook, or my buddy in here in the city, he Facebooked me because I sent a link to my Dragon Ball Z episode 38 review. And then he's like, "Oh, where can I find these episodes? Where can I watch them?" I'm like, "Oh, well, let me provide you the link when I get home, this and that." But he's like, "Oh, is it in English?" I'm like, "No." And he's like, "Oh, what? I don't want to read this." He's like, he's like, he's like,
Lazy
"I thought it was
asshole.
in
Come
English."
on.
No, he's like, "Oh, is there any episodes in English?" Like, no, dude. It's like not. You won't get English dub maybe like 2 years or something like that. So he's like, "Oh, then forget it then."
You didn't want to read it. Oh, goodness.
That's the problem too, is that people don't want to read what
True.
they want to read it, and it's kind of funny to me. It's like it's so
Yeah.
I can barely see as it is.
And you
I
know,
still read it.
actually, that's kind of why I do give credit to shows like Super, because they get people interested in subbed anime when they probably wouldn't otherwise. I like
Yeah,
that. And actually, I kind of hope that One Punch Man doesn't get an English dub. If it stayed a purely subbed product, it'd still be great. It doesn't really need one. You know?
I don't want to say that every anime dub is horrible because there have been
Oh, of
fantastic
course.
animes where I'll just watch it in dub.
Of
But
course,
yeah, sub is definitely. I don't
Bebop is
understand
an
why people.
example where I think Bebop is an example where the dub is better than the sub, especially when it comes to Spike. You
Yeah,
can't
and then
beat Steve Bloom.
I don't know if it's nostalgia factor or I just actually just like it. I think I like Dragon Ball Z dub more than I like the sub.
Hmm. In many regards, I have to agree with you. Yeah, in some
I
regards,
like that.
yes.
And then
Yeah.
also Tenchi Muyo,
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Hakusho,
Gurren Lagann.
Yu
Uh,
Yu Hakusho at all, or
oh yeah. Yu Yu Hakusho,
wow,
Inuyasha, great dub.
love that dub. Yeah,
There's a lot of great dubs out there, and
they
people,
are,
but there's a lot of horrible ones.
of course.
Eureka 7. I love me some Eureka 7 dub or sub. I
Hmm.
think that's where
Black
uh,
Lagoon,
Black Lagoon is fantastic. Revi in
amazing
that is
dub.
fantastic.
It's an
In the
amazing
rock,
dub.
yeah, great dub. I mean, there's a lot, just a lot of fucking
There
great
are.
dub
And that's the
animes out
thing.
there.
I think that in some regards, among hardcore purist anime fans who just watch sub, dub has a bad reputation, and vice versa with the dub community. It's like we're kind
Yeah,
of warring with each other almost. You know,
I don't understand it. I mean,
it's like
it's
PC
simple.
versus console. It's like
It's very simple. Like if you're watching something, just switch it to sub if you want it in sub. If you want it to
exactly.
switch it, just switch it to dub if you want it to
Just
dub.
have. And I feel like there's this that people don't, especially on the internet, people don't like nuance. You know what I mean? You can't have like a varied opinion, but it's like people asking, dub or sub. Well, it depends on the freaking show.
Yeah.
It
I mean,
depends.
they don't see the two sides of the coin. Yes,
Yeah,
sometimes the dub is horrible and the sub and the voice actors deliver better. Their just delivery is so much better and crisper. But you got to look at it like people like my friend. They're looking for the dub. They want to watch it in the dub, and that's how you get more anime fans in there. And that's how you get your DVDs, people. That's how you get your merchandise over
true.
here in America.
That's true. That's true. They're, like I said, the two sides of the same coin, and they have to be done properly and respectfully in order to make anything worthy at all of remembering or profiting off of. I mean, look,
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I'm not going to be too harsh on it, but I mean, if you recall right, remember the English dub of Digimon, is like I feel like the quality of that dub, they tried their best, but it just wasn't very good, and I feel like that contributed in a great deal to why it was less popular than, say, Pokemon. It didn't last as long. It was forgotten about because it was just not a quality dub. And the original of, I think, when it comes to kids anime, the first 3 seasons of Digimon are pretty dang solid. I gotta admit, they really, go back and watch them in the sub version. They're good. English dub, majority of the time, is
Not
not good.
not
So
so
it's
great.
just, I don't know, man. It has to be done right. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
Gotta be
most definitely.
right.
And going from to Dragon Ball, like I think this is the first time I actually listened to the sub of Dragon Ball, of any Dragon Ball. So
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Super introduced me to the sub, and I prefer the dub. I just said, but like
Yeah.
the sub is not it. You get used to it. You get used to
Yeah.
it definitely. It's a little weird when you hear Goku's voice, but
Oh yeah. And I
but
think, but at
Gohan.
least it's good to have the contrast there, like you can see, it's like you can kind of tell, oh, that's where it came from. You can appreciate the dub more, I
Yeah,
think, once you know what the original was a bit like. And I should recommend, if you want to see more, watch the Japanese dub of Kai. Very good, very quality done, I think. And actually, I think there are certain. That's the thing. I think there are moments when both have their strengths and weaknesses. For example, I kind of like, the scene where Android 16 gets killed by Cell and then Gohan goes SSJ2.
yeah.
You know the scene, of course. Here's the thing, actually. I think Android 16's speech is better in the dub, but the scene where Gohan goes SSJ2 with the scream and all that, and just even the background music, Japanese is way superior. So it's kind of like, it depends on the scene almost,
Yeah.
It
I mean,
really
you're gonna
does.
get, like you said, pros and cons of both.
Yeah. So it's just a matter of taste. It's just a matter of what you like to see. And if you like to see the dub, well, then watch the dub. You like the sub, well, watch it. It's it's not a big deal. At the end of the day, you're all fans of the same anime.
Yeah,
So it's,
most definitely, man.
yeah.
All right, so
But
let's go for it, Cole. What were we gonna say?
I was going to bring up something before I never got to get around to real quick, of course. An anime I quite like that I was surprised to see is got some in the news recently. Fooly Cooly season 2.
Oh my God, yes. Oh, I was gonna tell you that. I mean, when I heard the news, Fooly Cooly season 2, I'm like, that's what I thought. I'm like, Cole, dude, Fooly Cooly. I didn't do a video. I wasn't able to do a video. I actually kind of forgot a little bit, but I'm I don't know if you're excited. I'm kind of excited.
I am excited, but I am damn cautious about this because that's the thing. I think Fooly Cooly is a great product as a standalone 6-episode story. It works. Where it ended, it was perfect. I think it doesn't really need any more.
And honestly, you know, that's another good dub.
I think it's one of the best dubs ever, if you ask me.
Yeah.
The way they adapted they tried their best to adapt every little thing. Almost nothing has changed. Hell, you can, just compare the dub to the sub. It's almost spot on.
So,
but I mean,
but you know more about, because I just saw the title and I think you know more info on this. So is everything
slightly
is it same people, same animation team? Like what's going on here?
What it was that the original was done by Production IG and Gainax. I believe Production IG they animated it. I'm not sure, but definitely Gainax had a hand in writing it. This one's being produced by Adult Swim and Gainax, so we have half the original team. I believe most of the original directors and writers from the first season are on board for this, so I don't know why they changed their minds, because I recall in a pre-flight episode for Toonami a long time ago, they mentioned how they approached them already to do a season 2, and they said, no, we're not interested, we don't want to. So what was it money? Was it a corporate decision? What changed their mind? I'm worried about that.
I'm thinking popularity too.
Probably so. But as for story, though, we know very little right now, but we know it's going to focus on a new main character instead of Naota. Haruko's going to come back. It's going to be sometime in the future, beyond when, after the events of season 1, obviously. And they keep alluding to the mystery of Kanti. What happened to Kanti? Where is he? So it might even be a long time in the future. Who knows? It could be.
Oh my God! I don't think they should do that. I don't like that idea.
Actually, I think it'd be kind of cool to see. You remember, what was his name? Amuro? What the kind of FBI agent with the fake eyebrows?
Oh, yeah, the fake eyebrows.
What if like Naota becomes a different version of him almost, and the cycle kind of repeats itself almost?
Oh wait, which one was Kanti?
The robot.
Oh, okay.
TV boy. TV boy. Yeah.
Naota was the boy.
Yeah, Naota was the boy. So it'd be kind of cool to see Naota become somewhat like that character in a way, because almost have his prophecy come true in a way.
So
who knows?
Naota is definitely in season 2, right?
No, we don't know yet. He kind of has to be. It'd be weird if he wasn't in some form or another. But I believe I hear it's going to focus on a new kid character, a girl this time. And same thing. Haruko's coming into her life and all that. So it's like, that's what happens. Will it work? I don't know. I mean, we're not just it's not just getting one season, it's getting 2 seasons. It's 12 episodes total. So it's like, this is interesting here.
It is interesting. And you know what? Like, I remember going back and reading some of the manga, and like it was interesting on that. I can't really remember what I think, but I think it went beyond a little bit of the, I think it had more detail and more stories with, other than like the 6-episode Fooly Coolies.
I actually have not read the manga of Fooly Cooly. I need to get around to it. I've only
check out the manga. I think there's definitely a lot more explained in there too.
I should look into that. Yes. Although I do think Fooly Cooly works even when it's not explained. Even ambiguous, it still works somehow.
That was the beauty of that show.
It was, and actually, I'm working on a video right now. I don't want to mean to plug anything, but it's kind of the philosophy of Fooly. Okay, well, it's going to be kind of about the philosophy of Fooly Cooly, but I'm writing it in a way where I don't even mention the show at all. It's just talking almost around the show. I'm very excited about it. I think people might like it. I want to do the same thing with Bebop too, but just kind of like, in a way, reviewing the show without reviewing it. It's kind of hard to explain, but I think people might enjoy it.
That's a very interesting idea. I want to see that. I would really.
Thanks, man. I hope people enjoy it. So that's coming down the road. I just got to kind of perfect it a little bit, but so yeah, I think it works as it is. Will it work with more? I don't know. I'm intrigued. I'm really intrigued by this. But I'm worried, man, because if they mess it up, then it's just going to be a tarnish on the name of FLCL, and you won't be able to recover from that. You know,
That's true, but I'm honestly kind of excited for it.
I am too.
I
But
think after I was done with Fully Cooley that first time around, I was like, I want more.
I agree because I think the last episode is a bit too sudden. It ends way too suddenly. You know.
But I am nervous for the fact that we're having a new kid lead.
Yeah.
I'm nervous on that fact because I don't really I want more of the story of Nato and Haruko.
I agree. I do too. And we might get some of that. It really does depend. I, that's the thing. Like I said, the story's kind of over. So where can they go from this? I'm really curious to see what's going to happen with this. But I think it was. Here's the thing. I think it was always kind of inevitable. At some point, we would get more. Because like, look at the way it ends. Like the last shot of the last episode is of Haruko's guitar, and it's just sitting there by itself, and we see a string vibrate. We see like it's plucked, so we know okay, more's coming. You know, but it feels like again, you know, the creators themselves, even when they were approached like a year ago, they said, no, we don't want to do this anymore. We're satisfied with what we made. We don't need to do anymore. Is this just like a cash in? What is this? What are we seeing here? You know, this could end very poorly without the original team on there.
Yeah, and I can see why you're worried about that. Definitely.
Yeah,
I mean, because it's been years. It's been years, and I haven't really thought about Fully Cooley. Like, I love it, but you know, I was at peace with the ending and everything.
Yeah, it's been 15 years. You know, it's like I don't want to.
I do recommend you checking out the manga.
I will.
I think the manga could really kind of shed some light that it could be a season 2 because I think the manga kind of gives you a little bit more definitely of their story, but the manga really focuses on Nacho and Haruko and that dynamic than straying away. I think they're definitely trying something new, which does have me a little bit worried on.
Right. So yeah, I mean, I have no idea what to expect at this point. We know so little about it. It was just like an announcement, but
out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere. Again, like once I heard on Pre-Flight that they approached and they declined, so it's just like okay, that's never going to happen. But now suddenly it happened. So, what a weird thing. You know, I'm still thinking this might be a medical Mechanica conspiracy. We'll see. You know, who knows?
Well, it's kind of crazy. Like do you think Dragon Ball Super kind of started this?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Because
they're like, okay, Dragon Ball Super, like we're Dragon Ball. We never would have thought 1,000 years. We got some movies, but we never thought we were going to get another series.
Oh yeah,
and they dropped it on us because how well the films did. So I won't be shocked if people are like looking at these older anime like we could bring this back.
Indeed, that's it though. I wonder what's next. Like for example, would you want more Bebop? You know?
No.
Yeah,
I think Spike did die that episode.
I think so. Here's the thing. I think we could have more Bebop, but only if they put it again in the middle of the show. Standalone stories. The ending is still the same. Just like more of the middle.
Yeah. And you know what? There's also a crazy thing is that we're getting more Tenchi Muyo.
Really?
Die for Ryoki. So that's happening. Like these are a lot of older shows coming back.
Yeah, and maybe you're right. Maybe Super did start this, and if it did, this might crest a new age of continued anime. And hell, I mean, it's not really anime, but even Samurai Jack is getting a new season, this year.
So yeah, Samurai Jack is back.
It's like, and not only that, but between the potential for a Kai Buu saga, a dub of Super, Samurai Jack, and now we know Fully Cooley because again, Adult Swim is producing it, so it's going to be on Toonami. Toonami might be pretty cool by next year. Be like really dang cool.
Hopefully, they bring in some more new generation and maybe look at a Super dub going on in there as well.
I heard rumor a Super dub planned for around the winter or like early next year. I could be wrong.
Yeah, and they're already doing Hunter x Hunter on Toonami as well. So
I heard about that. That's going to be
good stuff. Hunter x Hunter is very fantastic. It's great. It's great. series.
I never saw it, but I've heard good things about it.
I do
Uh,
recommend you check out Seven Deadly Sins first, though.
I will, man. I really will. I mean, again, it's been recommended to me by you, by my girlfriend. I gotta get around to it. I
It's
I
fantastic.
binge watch over the weekend, and I need to
It's
start doing
fantastic.
that.
You'll love it. I can't wait to do the podcast on that.
We will sometime. And like I said, we gotta do the Avatar podcast and even a Fooly Cooley podcast. Maybe once I get my video done, because
Oh,
I
I will
want
rewatch that fully coolly. I'm so ready to rewatch that.
we both should. You know, it'd be. It's a show to rewatch. Like I watch it at least every year. It's a good like summertime show, or even put like an episode on just like one a day. Because that's the thing. I think if you watch it one at a time, like in 1 day intervals, as opposed to watching all in one go like a movie, it's a whole different experience. You
Yeah.
savor it a lot more one at a time. I used to binge watch it in just one go, and that's how I saw it the first time in one go. But I saw it recently just one at a time over like a 2 day, over like a 6 day interval, and it was a lot better the second time around. So much better.
It gets better and better, dude.
It does. There's so much little details in there, and that's what I'm worried about, because if they can't get that, it's not gonna work. You know, Fooly Cooley is an anime that defines itself. You know, it's like
we'll see. We'll see how it goes, man. We'll see how it does. I wanted to ask you this question though, real quick.
Yeah.
If you had to bring back any older anime, you know, like we said, Cowboy Bebop, you know, maybe even Inuyasha came back too, and they finished that off.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Great ending. Love it.
Yeah. So what anime would you bring back for another run?
A
continuation.
Continuation. It's hard to say, because I would say this is a hard question. I'm sorry for the pause. Again, they've all kind of been done this last couple of years. We got new Dragon Ball, we have new Fooly Cooley, we got new Digimon came out, Digimon Try. I still haven't seen that, but it's all kind of coming true. So I would say, I guess I would kind of have to say Bebop, but only if they do it in the middle. Like I said, just standalone stories, or like just a set of something similar. I don't know. I don't know. You know, I haven't seen that whole lot of old anime. I still have to finish Samurai Champloo.
Oh, Samurai Champloo is amazing.
Yeah, I just saw a couple episodes on Toonami last week, and it was great. Loved it.
Rest in peace, Najubis. Najubis does the score of Samurai Champloo. Jun-sun, he died from a car crash, and he was only like, I don't even think he was in his 40s, honestly.
Oh God.
His music in that show is fantastic. I am a big Najubis fans. But if I had to pick a show, I think I'd go Trigon.
That works.
I would love I would love some more episodes of Bash.
I've only seen a bit of Trigon, but I liked what I saw.
Trigon is awesome, man, and it would be a great show to continue.
I think so. I mean, I never got to the end, but I guess did it have a bad ending? Like,
a little bit, but I think it leaves room for more stories.
That could work. Hey, okay. New thing, like older anime. We'll talk about that, but as for new anime, I need more One Punch Man. I need more.
Oh, you're gonna get One Punch Man. One Punch Man is so big, so popular. You're definitely getting more One Punch Man. Season 2. I know we have some
OVAs. I know we might have another an animated movie at some point, but I think
I saw one OVA.
I think there's 2. I'm not sure. But it's like I just need more of that character, that universe. I need it, man. It's just
and this is okay. So One Punch Man. What's interesting about One Punch Man when it first came out, I think it's amazing. I think it's awesome. It's fantastic. Yeah. Is it my favorite anime? No. But is it a fantastic newer anime? Hell yeah, it is. It's definitely something you watch. What's crazy is when this came out, they were comparing where does Saitama rank with the Dragon Ball Z universe? Where does this One Punch Man rank with Dragon Ball Z? I mean, One Punch Man is kicking Dragon Ball Super's ass in animation wise, and actually all around anime. But that's crazy, you see a lot of crossover fan arts of Saitama and the Dragon Ball Z characters. He's crazy strong. He is.
but it's so nonchalant. I love that. I mean, the moment I explained it to a friend, is like I was in California last March, and me and my friends, my friends came over. We said, and my friend had never seen One Punch Man, so me and my other buddy, we said, okay, sit down, we gotta show you something. So we saw the first 2 episodes. No, actually, just the first 1 episode. Then I showed him the first episode of Fooly Cooley. Wasn't very impressed by that, but he said he'd watch more later. Anyway, so I was explaining it to him, and I just realized how it's like just the premise alone is amazing. A superhero who's so strong, it's no longer fun being a superhero. It's the antidote to Dragon Ball at this point. It's perfect. You know,
Yeah,
it just turns the entire genre on its head.
it's awesome, man. The One Punch Man is so awesome, and
It
just like
is.
it's crazy, man. I mean, it's crazy how I'm looking forward to more One Punch Man episodes than I am to Dragon Ball Super episodes.
Indeed. Well, at least you're not a brony. Look at it that way. At least you're not looking forward to My Little Pony more than you're looking forward to Dragon
Oh
Ball.
God, the brony, yeah, those guys are crazy.
Yeah. But it's like, yeah, it's a weird time to be an anime right now, where yeah, you look more forward to more to this as one shot manga, which came out of nowhere and was poor. You ever seen the original One Punch Man manga? Like the
No,
original. Oh, it's terribly drawn. It's hilarious how poorly it's drawn. Watch it. They redo it later, of course, and much better now. But the original, oh, it's terrible. It's hilarious. But it's so crazy to think that this one thing came along, it became such a huge hit overnight, and now it is, I'd say, this the savior of action anime. You know?
yeah, yeah. I mean, it is because I can't really think of any other kind of action anime that's really been kicking ass. That's been close to Dragon Ball Z, like in the formula level of just punching, and fighting. Then,
Staring.
and then One Punch Man. And I guess you could say Toriko, but I haven't really been watching Toriko. I don't really know too much about Toriko, but
Never saw it.
my buddy Super Saiyan Ichigo 720 is a big fan of Toriko.
Oh,
But it's great that we're having a mix of definitely the newer anime that's coming in and then the older anime that's coming back. You
yeah.
get a balance there. You get a
Yeah.
balance. You get for newer generation, you get it for older generation.
Oh yeah, it seems like we're entering into a new age of anime, and well, not new age, but like just a new chapter into it. And, excuse me. And like you said, just something old, something new, something strange and familiar at the same time. It's exciting. You know, it's very interesting what we're gonna see. And same thing with movie. I mean, I guess this is kind of the age of reboots and continuations too. You know, even in movies, so many things have come back this year. Star Wars,
Yeah.
it's been a crazy couple of years as far as media goes, and it's going to be even crazier, I imagine, down the road. So I'm looking forward
Good
to
or
it.
bad? There's going to be a lot more good, I think, than bad.
I think so. Real quick, also, what do you think of the Rogue One trailer?
Oh my god, I think I'm more excited for Rogue One than I was for Episode 7.
I gotta agree with you, man. At this point, yeah, I'm looking forward to Rogue One. I
It's
really
not
am.
necessarily we know the story, we know the
Yeah.
stealing of the Death Star and stuff, but the visuals, the tone,
Oh,
the way it looks fantastic.
it looks like Star Wars more than Episode 7 did. 7 looked like
Yeah.
Abrams. This looks like Star Wars.
It looks like a grittier, dark film, but not not like Batman v Superman dark.
Oh yeah.
Just enough darkness where you take it seriously.
Exactly, and I mean, even when we first see the Death Star when they're putting in like the laser thing, it's like it looks like a model almost. It looked like really good. I imagine with CGI, but I hope it's a model. I want to see some models used in these films. For crying out loud, you could do it easily, you know?
Yeah, and Gareth Edwards, who he is the director of Rogue One, and he actually did Godzilla, the recent Godzilla film.
Really?
Now, say what you want to say about that film, visually it looked fantastic.
Oh
So,
yeah, it was well directed. I thought too. Very well
yeah,
directed.
hands down, I think Rogue One is going to be very fantastic to look at, especially when you had that admiral with this white
Yeah.
cloak and everything. Like
Who is
that's
that anyway?
visually striking. Visually
It
striking.
is. Do we know who that is yet? Because I thought at first I thought it was Tarkin, but it can't be Tarkin.
No, there is some mystery with this film because they haven't they only released what's her name, the lead actress,
I forget.
oh my god, I can't believe I forgot her name, but her name's Jin in the movie.
Jin.
But they haven't released any names for Donnie Yen's character, Forrest Whitaker's character. They haven't released his name.
Huh.
So there's mystery clouded in this film. So there's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be kind of crazy.
Do you think Do you think we'll see Vader, like maybe as a cameo?
He
Will
is.
will he play a main role? You think?
He's definitely in the film. I think he is playing a big role in there. I don't know if
I
it's like the biggest role ever, but he's playing a role in there.
I hope so. I hope so. Because I want to see. I'm ready now for a little more of this classic of the classic Vader. And I actually wonder if they'll find a way to bridge the gap between. Because here's the thing. Recall back in A New Hope, Vader's character, he was much more of a brute. He was more of a physical enforcer. He became much more nuanced in Empire and Jedi. But in A New Hope, he's just kind of there, and he's just kind of a bad guy. So I wonder. What would this pre A New Hope Vader look like? What would he be like? Will he be more like Empire or more like A New Hope?
I don't expect him to be over like powerful like the prequels.
Yeah,
Because he's older. He's older, and I think you tend to be more stronger to the force than swinging a lightsaber or something like that.
right.
I expect dogfights. I expect a
Me too.
better dogfight with him. I would like to see him in the TIE fighter more than I like to see him
Oh
unleash
yeah.
a lightsaber.
I agree at this point. I'm ready now also for, like you said, just some dogfights, just some non. I mean, nothing wrong with lightsaber fights, but I just want to see. There's been so many lightsaber fights over the years. We've kind of lost the beauty of just this dogfight style that was never really a main focus except in Episode 4. You know,
Yeah. Yeah. This
I
is
want to see that come back.
Star Wars. This is a
Yes,
war. So, and
it's,
I think that's what I grasped in the trailer was like, this feels like a war.
it does. And I'm surprised too because I thought originally when I heard that Rogue One, I thought it'd be about Poe Dameron. Like post episode, maybe even pre episode 7, like following the Resistance. But I didn't know it would go this far back. I'm very excited for that because I always wanted something to fill that gap between episodes 3 and 4, and we got it now. Love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. I'm so looking forward to it, Cole. I mean,
Me too.
we did a podcast on that too, talking everything Star Wars with me and my buddy Superman James, and we're both just like hyped for this film. Like
Oh
it's
yeah.
just, I honestly think I'm putting my money on it that it'll be better than Episode 7.
I think so. And now that we're kind of entering into, I'm not really looking forward to a whole lot more films this year. I think that is my go-to film for this year. I think like that's the one I want to see. I'm looking forward to that. I was kind of looking forward to Batman v Superman just a little bit, but I didn't see it. I'm still waiting for it to go. Here's the thing: I got right next to me. I have a discount movie theater where I can see a movie that comes out about 2 months prior. I can see it for $3. So I'm
Oh,
gonna
okay.
see it. I just see it discounted later. So, you know,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. That's. I think that's the movie theater I work at too. Like, after a couple months, we'll have the movie and then we'll
Good,
discount it. Yeah.
nice. I mean, and that's a good way to see it. So yeah, I'm gonna watch Batman v Superman, but I'm gonna wait. Yeah, I'm gonna wait for that.
I can't wait to hear your thoughts on that.
I'm very curious though, real quick. What do you think of Ben Affleck as Batman? Was he a good Batman?
He was the best thing in that film.
Damn good. I'm damn glad to hear that. Great. What was he? Was he compared to Christian Bale? How was he? I'm not gonna say better
I
or
think he
worse,
was
but
better than Christian. I think
uh,
Christian might have been a better Wayne, but as a Batman, Batman himself, I think Ben was better Batman.
good, good. Because I tell you, man, I want some more Batman. I'm ready for some. I'm ready for a.
However, you either get on board for a certain aspect of Batman or you don't get on board. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, let me guess. I hear a lot of people die, so I'm guessing this is a pretty lethal Batman, huh?
It's pretty lethal.
Oh, damn it. And that's the thing. Like, have you seen The Dark Knight Returns?
The animated or the comic book?
Animated.
I saw. Yeah, actually, I did watch it.
I feel like that Batman was pretty lethal too, but I felt like it made sense because he was more of a tired older Bruce Wayne. He was just kind of again
Done with it.
he was done with it. He was tired of this bullshit. He's gonna break some necks,
Yeah.
And so I felt that worked. I'm not sure it's warranted here. If it's that bad, like I've heard, not sure it's quite warranted. We'll see.
For
Uh,
me, The Dark Knight Returns. I told this to James too. I told him that this is not a good question for me because I will tell you all the time. Like, I think that comic book is overrated.
really, I never read the comic book. I just saw the animated version.
It's basically the same thing. I
Okay.
thought it was overrated. I think what I thought was cool though was the Batman and Superman fight. I thought old grittier Batman is pretty good, pretty good. But
Hmm.
I mean, it's not like the greatest thing I've ever read or seen. So
No, and to be fair, I'm not terribly well versed in Batman animated media. I've only seen a bit of the old animated series. I haven't even seen almost none of Justice League or Batman Beyond. So I only
Ooh,
have that in the
yeah.
animated series. But I
Netflix,
like.
man.
Was that?
Netflix.
Got a good point there. I don't have Netflix right now. I should get that. But I mean, yeah, I liked it. I thought it was good, and I liked the Superman fight, like you said. I like the art style. The one thing that got me was the art style. It just looked, you know.
Yeah, yeah. That I think that's what I didn't cater for too was the art style of the Frank Miller
Yeah,
comic
I mean,
because it
yeah,
is like the Frank Miller
yeah,
comic.
yeah. And but to be fair though, I think I liked the first part more than the second part. You know, I liked the first part a lot more. And again, I love the Superman fight, and I love that fight. But I mean, just the Joker in that seemed a bit too bland as a character. It wasn't even Mark Hamill. Why not get Mark Hamill? I'm confused with
I
that.
think because Mark Hamill, like he said, he retired from the voice of Joker after the second Arkham game.
Not
But
anymore.
he's coming back with Kevin Conroy to do the
Oh,
Killing Joke.
and I'm looking forward to that, man.
Ooh,
Just got an R rating. That's gonna be sweet, I think.
I can't wait for that too. So we'll see how that goes.
Indeed.
I don't think anybody's gonna top if you've never seen it. The Batman, the Mask of the Phantasm.
I've heard about that, and I hear it was really good. I'm
Fantastic. If you want to include that movie with the Christopher Nolan movies and uh,
really.
just overall any Batman movie, like that's number one in my book.
Wow, because I'm still going through the animated series, and I have that down on the list, but I have not seen it yet. So
You
wow,
need to
that
watch
good,
it.
huh?
The most
Look,
epic score ever.
I've heard good things about that score.
I
Actually,
think I believe Shelley Walker does the score, and
yeah,
my God, does she? I was kind of hoping they'd use that score for Batman v Superman, and there's a little hint in it, but it's not. It's not Shelley Walken's score.
I'm looking forward to that though. I mean, that sounds great.
It's fantastic.
I will watch that. We'll get back to. We should do a Batman podcast at some point. That'd be
Oh
fun.
yeah, you know what? Yeah, yeah. We'll do a Batman podcast, and we'll get my buddy James on here too, because
Great,
he is so versed in the comic lore.
indeed.
So
All
teach us a little bit more
all,
about Batman and what.
all I really know about is the films. I've seen all the films, so that's what I bring to the table, unfortunately. So
No, me and you bring that to the table. Yeah, so it'd be
yeah. So we'll
interesting
see.
his aspect to.
Interesting. So yeah, that'd be fun. But anyway, so anything else on your mind? Like, I think we kind of ran through the whole agenda here. What do you
I think
think?
we got. I think we're good. I think that we could end it here. I mean,
Sure.
just going back to Dragon Ball Super, like I will check out episode 39 and see if it does take a step forward for me.
Good.
Um,
Let me know.
I do
Let me know your
believe,
thoughts by all means.
yeah, yeah, most definitely. I'll have that review up. I just feel like, I think mostly what we talked about was the possibilities that this could go, especially after this Hit versus Goku fight. And that leaves you excited. It leaves you more excited, like when we're getting
Oh
after
yeah.
the Frieza arc, where
Mhm.
we're getting some new material that we haven't seen before with Champa, the gods, and the tournament and the universes. So it's going to be interesting after this. Like, where do we go from here? Do we go to Universe 6? Are we getting new villains? Are
Mm.
future Trunks? Is he coming back for a return? Like,
Let's see.
is there a new transformation? Are we going to include more fusions? Like, a lot of questions that could be answered after the Goku versus Hit fight.
Indeed. And if they take that route and just do a couple things right, then I think maybe Super can redeem itself. Maybe just a little bit. We'll see. You
Yeah,
know, because at this point I think Super is trying to prove its right to exist. You know, it
yeah,
has to kind of justify its own existence, and so far I don't think it's quite done that enough. So let's see. You know,
yeah.
let's see.
Yeah,
I don't
most
know.
definitely.
Yeah,
It's always great to talk to you about Dragon Ball. Cole, I know you're a big fan. I'm a big fan.
same thing, Dan. I had a great time. You know,
I want you guys to go to his channel, Herostone Media. He has a fantastic recent review of the Fusion movie. It's so good. Like I was
you
watching it, I was like,
ah,
brings me back.
you
Uh,
flatter me, man.
it's great, man. It was well done. Like your voice really captured. Your voice is very it speaks to you. It's like, you know, it was like watching a very professional YouTube video that
Wow.
I watch all the time on YouTube. So go check out his Fusion
Thank you.
review. It's really good points about it. It's fantastic, man. And do you have any Twitter handles, Facebook, anything like that, Colt?
It's all Herostone Media. Just Twitter Herostone Media, Facebook Herostone Media. It's all there. You'll find it. And if I may add something as well, guys, be sure to check out Dan's reviews of all the Dragon Ball Super videos if you want a really nice, in-depth look from an experienced fan on the series, on his thoughts. Look at this stuff because it's good stuff. I'm telling you. And I'm looking forward to this new one pretty soon. So it's like, watch that. I assume you also have some Twitters, maybe, Dan? Like
no,
Facebook?
I don't have any of that crap. It's all YouTube, man. It's all YouTube, maybe Facebook, but I don't like to give Facebook out because that's where my friends. Not just kidding.
Yeah.
No, but like, yeah. I mean, I'm more of a YouTube guy. I'm not. I build. I don't know. Just Twitter's not for me and all that stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Well, hey, to each their own. But either way, I tell you, man, I had a great time talking, and it was. It felt good to be talking again, and just I need to work more on my own stuff. I haven't put out a video in a long time. I'm working on now if I may, I don't want to plug something real quick. I guarantee you none of you people are gonna know what this is, but I'm working on a abridged dub of Yokai Watch, which is again a pretty recent children's anime. It's a big hit in Japan, and I want to bring an arc to it long before the actual English dub does. It's the Usopion chapter. So if you guys are interested in that, check out my video on that. It's a work in progress, but I think you guys will enjoy it a lot, and it might just be hopefully a decent abridged series. I'm looking forward to it. I think we have some good ideas. So
awesome, man. I can't wait to see some of your, because you take time in your videos and they do come out crisp and clean, buddy.
I really try, and I hope I can get faster as time goes on, because I tell you, I envy you and your ability to put out 2-3 videos a week, if not more than that. I wish I could do that, but my methods are slower and right now not terribly well honed. So
well, I've slowed down since I first started. I try to input some videos out there that take me a little bit more time. I mean, I still have a shitty editing system. Hopefully I get a better one.
What do you use? I'm just curious.
Just the one on the MacBook Pro, man.
Try getting one called Lightworks. It's what I started out with. It's not the best thing ever, but it might do you well. We'll see. So
I'm trying to get back at that Final Cut Pro, or at least Vegas.
Fuck yeah, I get Final Cut Pro. That's the best stuff you can get. I wish I had a MacBook so I could get it myself.
I used to have it, man, and then my hard drive went kaput, and I'm not going to say that I kind of bought it, but I didn't buy it. So, thank you, Cole. Herostone Media, check out his videos. Like I said, awesome videos. Can't wait to see more work put out, buddy.
Well, thank you. You too, man.
Thank you for the shout out too. Yes, Dan Man Reviews. That's my other channel with reviews. And subscribe to this channel if you want more podcasts. We have a lot more podcasts that are on the way.
Agreed.
Anime, film, TV, you name it. So, Colt, man, until next time, buddy. Maybe we'll get that Batman podcast going, buddy.
Or Avatar too.
Oh yeah. That's definitely going to be one of the next ones is Avatar, because Avatar. There's so much to talk about. In Avatar.
So much. It's going to be a beefy one, I guarantee you.
So much.
Okay. Well, Dan, thank you so much for having me on. It was a great time. I love talking about this kind of stuff, and you gave me a good outlet to do it. So just thank you, and I can't wait to see you on the next one. Okay.
All right, no problem, man. And thank you guys for watching, the ones who watched and the ones who are about to watch. Thank you guys for watching and listening. And this is the Just Saying podcast, and we will see you guys next time. Until that Avatar podcast, until more podcasts on the way. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button, comment below. Want to hear you guys' thoughts, and like the video if you like it. And thank you, Colt, and we'll see you guys later.
Sure thing. See ya.